welcome to for those of you on YouTube and also on Rumble. You'll be seeing this on Rumble also as well. Welcome. Uh, actually, we didn't want to do a live event like this, but things are not too great right now, as you can hear it in my voice. And basically, you know what happened? Charlie Kirk was assassinated today, right? Right in the middle of a Utah event. So we're going to be talking about this today. But before we get into this, really, just a reminder to those of you, this is more important than ever. Your favorite YouTubers, the content out there. Be sure hit those subscribe buttons. Get yourself involved on there because this is what they're trying to stop: freedom of speech. Those, onto there. What they did today, is basically it's going to echo in the history books later in time. But I also want to bring on to the stage. We got two people so far, and both of them from, if you know, the Sci-Fi Snob channel. We got Cam. Cam's with us today. Say hello.
Hello.
And we also have Death Angel Shadows, who's also with us today.
Hey there.
So I'm sorry to break in. I just saw a report that said that they have captured the shooter now.
Yep. Yeah, I just see it now here.
Okay. Okay. Let me just go over to
from Cash Patel. They'll provide updates when available.
it's Cash. It's right.
Yeah.
Just give me a second here. I just want to check.
Well, hopefully we'll get some accurate answers here sooner rather than later. Then,
hopefully, and whoever this is. I mean, if it's this old guy that they were showing.
Yeah, I think they've released him. Is what I heard.
Oh, okay.
There was something weird about that guy, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling Cam in the back. I mean, would you think on a bingo card? Would you think that you would have Charlie Kirk getting assassinated in front of a large college crowd in the state of Utah?
No.
Which
says something about Utah.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I don't know if that university is a Mormon university. I don't know if that's a Mormon university.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's not like Brigham Young, but
it might have no. It might not even be someone from there.
Yeah, those are kind of. I mean, campuses are public.
Yeah, because it's and seeing everybody that's talking about it right now. I know I've seen Nate go on. Nate the lawyer has been on live. Tim Pool's been on live.
Yeah.
You have so many people out there that's talking.
D-Day Cobra.
D-Day Cobra.
Jeremy.
Yeah. They were the first ones to. I think they were one of the first to say that he had passed away.
Yeah.
I was watching the news when they cut in with it myself.
I was working and had just come back from a conference call, and then I heard, and I'm like, oh my God. This,
I mean, this is like.
I
know. It's hard to talk about this. It's hard to talk about this, and it's, I've been doing this, God, since I was a teen. I've been doing shows like this since I was, in high school.
Right.
And I've covered some stuff, some insane stuff. I've covered wars. I've covered, some events on there. But this is really, in a way, and I hate to say this, it's going to be historical because this will be echoing down the line.
Yeah, let's. Is it the shot heard across the country?
That's an interesting point. I mean, when we were young, like the Kennedy assassination or the Challenger explosion or something, it's stuck with us. And I have to be honest, my biggest fear here is that this won't stick with people. That we have a society that is so used to a news cycle that flashes by so quickly that none of these things ever take root. And I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I'm not trying to say yes, this will be or won't be, but I'm concerned about it because something like this is something worthy of careful consideration and saying what does this really say about us as a society and where we're at. Um, and not doing that will be the worst outcome, in my opinion.
Well, they try to bring up a moment of silence in the House, and the Democrats would say no, no, no.
Really?
They were
Yeah,
trying,
I heard
yeah,
that. Yeah,
How
we're
disgusting.
yeah.
we're past the
They
point
are
where
part of the they are part of the problem.
Hmm.
yeah we don't even have basic common decency going on right now. This
No.
is
I lowered my flag already.
yeah
Yeah, if I had a flag, I would do it also.
Yeah. I mean, it's, one of those wall mount things, but it's got two positions and I put it from the upright, you know, what is it, like a 45-degree angle or whatever, to down to the 90-degree angle. So, and it was ordered, the president did order flags at half staff through Sunday. So,
yeah
Mm. I mean, yeah, it's whew,
Mr. President.
and I'm reading some of the things people have been saying online. That it's like, you know, shame on anyone who would freaking, make fun of this or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
You know, that they would glorify this. I mean, he was 31 years old,
yeah with two little kids as
two
well.
little kids, 31 years old, and this is a guy. People say, well, he did this, and that. He just talked about facts. Facts. That's all it was.
Yeah,
And he,
in a calm manner where people that didn't agree with him had their opportunity to say whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly,
This is the
exactly.
core. This is the core of our society that's been attacked with this. It's I didn't come up with that. Other people have said it. But it's if this guy is your intolerable monster, the way that some of these lunatics are treating him, it's like all he did is talk to people and calmly.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, it was it's
He
like I,
he
I was watching a bunch of his videos this afternoon.
I
You know, and they're saying, "Oh, Charlie Kirk did this and that."
and I'll
How he
tell you,
he put the
I'll,
person in their place.
yeah, I mean, I didn't watch every video of his, but I've watched several. He was on campus in Knoxville not too long ago,
Hmm.
and my wife found it, and she's like, "Hey, watch this. This is cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know who he is." She's like, and she's like, "I like this guy." I'm like, "Yeah, me too. He's kind of cool. He's pretty based, and
W-
he's not."
He's pretty popular with younger people too, like Gen Zers.
Right.
They I think a lot of them look at this guy maybe like older people looked at Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, and I grew up with Rush. I mean, I was a teenager. My dad introduced me to Rush, and then I became like, a ditto head, and he was like, "Okay, yeah, you went further than I did." But
Sure.
Hmm.
Madman, do you mind if I bring up something related to pop culture and this?
Go right ahead.
So it's an account called Mr. Gabe Hernandez on Twitter or on X is reporting and showing the screenshots and everything that the a DC Comics writer has said thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch, about Charlie Kirk being shot, and then it says hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. This is someone employed by DC Comics who apparently today a new comic, number one comic of a title called Red Hood, came out today, written by this um, disgusting person. So just you know, act accordingly with your dollars. If this is the kind of person you want to support, you feel free to do that. But I think it's important to not let that kind of thing go unnoticed. And I'm sure there's many more. There's many more people
well,
doing
we need to
exactly the same.
call people like this out. I mean,
Yes,
look,
yes.
I'm not a whole cancel culture thing, but people like that need to be called out for not because of what they not because of their beliefs, not because they maybe didn't like the things that Charlie had to say or that Trump has to say. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I lean pretty libertarian. I'm a conservative, but I lean libertarian. I will defend your right to say stuff that offends me to the end. But
Yeah,
there's a line
they
that
won't.
that you don't cross. Right. They want to
They
shut us up.
Yeah, and I want to be clear about when I say they. I'm saying the people that clearly say these things. I don't want to paint everyone with a broad brush. I often talk about one party or another as a whole because there is a lot of groupthink that goes on.
Oh yeah.
But this is a common trait that's clearly alive and well on the left in America.
Yeah. And they're trying to post these counter arguments about the whole. I saw a list. There's like, well, what about the attempted kidnapping of Gretchen Whitmore? And it's like,
The thing that
you
didn't
mean the one
exist,
that was right, the one that first of all wasn't successful, and second of all, it was like the
completely orchestrated by government. Yes,
corrupted government trying to that they're
but
the ones that kind of
you see,
suggest it.
these are the same people that don't know. They think that that's real. They think that the
Yeah.
the Fine People hoax is real. They
Oh
think that
yeah.
the Russia collusion hoax is real. They literally have no attachment to reality. And it doesn't matter what evidence you present; they will not
They won't listen to
change their
reason.
mind. Right.
You cannot negotiate with them.
And while I can't say that is exclusive to one side, it is
No.
certainly more prominent on one side.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's people, I don't personally know any, that are so extreme on to the right.
I've met a couple in my lifetime,
Yeah,
both on the right and the
I
left, and it's
maybe I have,
really
but
painful.
I just don't know it. I mean, I know one guy he's a friend, and that says things that are off base all the time. Trying to blame a particular group of individuals that are fighting for their own lives in their
Mhm.
country. And I'm like, no, dude. But he also likes to talk about how the flat Earth and all that stuff. And so I'm kind of
Well,
like, see, all right, you're too malleable. You can't just believe the group thing.
yeah, without getting into that, I know what group you're referring to, and I don't want to get into that
Yeah,
necessarily. But you saw where all that started with the uh, well, I guess I will with the October 7th thing and where that's been led. But
right,
it's shocking how mask off things became for that very quickly. And again, you don't have to be, in my opinion, you don't foreign entanglements. I understand people don't like that, and it's a libertarian sort of view. Perfect. But a lot of people go way beyond that. It's like, it's clearly not just, hey, I don't want any part of this. There's something else there that I'm shocked to find simmering under the surface in 2025, and I don't like it.
Mm. And I'm looking back at myself, and back in the 80s and 90s, back in my public access days, we had a lot of situations like that with freedom of speech issues and stuff like that. And people says, "Well, you didn't have that type of situation, on public access television." I said, "Yeah, hell, we did. We
yeah,
went
you
to
did,
court and we fought it. We fought it in court and in the Supreme Court because we had situations where basically, you know, there were people out there that didn't like our content,
Mhm.
yeah,
and certain content." And I'll bring up, um, it was one group, it's the Gay Cable Network. And this is back during the AIDS crisis. And yeah,
yeah,
okay, there's semi porn and stuff like that on cable TV for their channel, but they brought in a lot of health stuff. They wanted it to be blocked. Time Warner at the time was trying to block them from getting that information out
right,
at the time, and it was just discussion after discussion, and it just led to court. To that point, because it literally Time Warner at the time, which they ran the cable company, they said, if you want to watch the show, you have to send us a card in to say that you want to watch this show.
how, yeah,
Yeah, you know. In
I
other words, outing people for that they want to
right,
see.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't care what your lifestyle choices are.
Hmm.
That's your choice. I don't make me accept it as being normal, but that's your choice. I would
Exactly.
again, it's the whole thing about free speech. You can say whatever the heck you want. I don't care. I'll argue with you if you want, but but I will defend your right to say it. You know, you have a right to say it. You don't have a right either to commit, you know, actual acts of
Violence.
violence against
Yeah.
people.
I mean, I kept, you know, lately seeing all this stuff that's, you know, especially when I talk. I mean, today, literally, when this event happened, I was working on a freedom of speech video for next week.
Mhm.
You know, talking about how the UK and the online safety bill is outing people that their information.
You know, but somebody
Yeah.
just my buddy, um, different friend,
Mm. Well, hold on. Let's hold
just
on one second. There's
yeah.
somebody who just joined in on this. He is the legendary sci-fi snob himself.
Oh, okay. There goes the neighborhood. Oh, hey, snob. Sorry.
Hey, snob.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Canadian.
Yeah, you know, they're a little slow up there. He's
Uh,
at his audio.
we'll
So
continue on. He'll jump in when he can.
I had to mine around. I think I don't know if I rebooted or who knows.
Yeah.
Microsoft. Gotta love ya.
well, Madman, you were saying you were doing a show on free speech.
All
Yeah,
right.
free speech. Oh, there we go.
All right.
There he is. He's alive.
Yeah, I just had to change the settings, just change themselves on some.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened to me. I was like wondering, why is my audio sound like I'm far away when I was testing this?
Oh, was it going through your webcam or
It was going through the
different mic?
webcam.
Yeah. And the webcam audios are horrible. If you
Yeah.
hear one that's good.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I got a good mic. You know, I got a Shure mic. I just bought this thing like for under $200, and I said, you know, this can't be the sound the way it sounds like on the live stream.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I got my Hio mic. This is my radio
So,
mic.
Snob, how you doing today?
Good.
So, your thoughts on the event
Oh,
of
it's
today
pretty shocking.
from a Canadian
Shocking
point of
and
view?
Yeah, he's an
surprising.
outsider.
Shocking and surprising. I mean, you know, I follow American politics pretty closely.
Yeah.
Closer than my own in some respects. So I kind of, I don't think I feel that much different than you guys probably do. It's very, shocking. I mean, geez, I mean, the guy I watched tons of his stuff. The guy he's pretty much the nicest guy you've ever seen. I mean, he comes to people, he just, you know, I've seen people call him names and all kinds of horrible stuff, and he just says, okay, well, you know, sorry to feel that way. God bless you, or something like that. And then he goes on his way. I don't think I've seen him, you know, be disrespectful to anybody. Yeah. He seemed like one of the, you know, a very, you know, the most reasonable person you could ever meet, you know, not prone to getting angry or yelling or anything.
I mean, he's young by comparison to us.
He's 31.
Yeah,
31. I'm 58.
He's pretty young.
I'm 52. So I'm like, you know, he was like he gave us hope for, you know, the younger generations, and I guess they're trying to shatter that. That's their modus operandi. You know,
Yeah.
from
Pa-
these crazy
Paulus
people on the left.
Visual says it on here. I'm really sad about today. I really love Charlie. He was a voice of reasoning during a time of chaos. I didn't agree with all his beliefs, but I respected our differences. Thank you,
Amen.
Paulus, on there for the
Yeah,
comment.
and that's true. I mean, you know, I don't 100% agree with everybody. You know, and that's the thing is,
I don't think there's anybody that you probably 100% agree with, right?
right?
Like when we think about it, I
That
mean,
would be very boring, wouldn't it?
Well, there's a lot of people that are absolutely in lockstep with each other. Those
Oh,
are
yeah.
the type of people that hate,
yeah, there could be,
you know, guys like Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah,
Well,
you might be right about that.
The NPCs, as we like to dub them, you know, where they all say the same thing, and it's like, oh my god. And then of course Gavin Newsom. Oh, that man! I swear, he's like, you know, and if then we knew the playbook as soon as it's come out. They're trying to say, oh, gun control, gun control. See, no, and it's like that.
Have you guys seen the latest?
The sniper. It was a sniper on the roof.
No,
not
there
the-
was a guy. There's a video that's floating around of a guy being arrested.
Well, the guy that got arrested, I believe they let him go. He was not.
You're talking about the older guy.
Yeah.
like-
Have you seen that video?
That was
Yeah.
that came out pretty quick after
They already let him go.
Yeah,
I think
right.
they did.
Supposedly.
We were talking earlier on the show, Snob, that there
Okay, I
has
missed
been another report coming from the FBI director that said that they have a person of interest in custody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I hadn't seen that. Yeah, this guy. I mean, he doesn't look like. I saw the video. It doesn't. There's suggestions online. Oh, people are saying some people saying, oh, he's the patsy, or he doesn't look much like a shooter. He could be the shooter.
Well, he looks exactly like the paid protesters that have been.
Yes.
Which
I suspect he probably was.
Somebody suggesting that he was.
Yeah.
He's known to law enforcement already because I would assume he's probably a regular protester, maybe, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he got his $200 in blood money.
Mm.
But there's a I don't know if he didn't give me a link to it. There is a video that
I didn't see the FBI thing that Cam mentioned, but
I put a link for that in the private chat.
did you? Okay.
Yeah, to the Twitter post from
Catch up, Snob.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not going to be showing, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to be showing any of the videos here because unfortunately, the YouTube gods. I know we're on Rumble also, but unfortunately, YouTube gods will probably strike us down.
You probably don't want to see it anyways.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to see that.
Oh,
it's bad.
I
really
watched
bad.
it. I definitely have to see it.
No, have you seen the close-ups?
I saw the close-up one.
No, there was I saw a fairly far away shot.
Okay, you saw the first ones that came out.
Well,
there was another one from like the front row.
I saw two. There was one that they stopped the video and let the audio go.
Oh no, there's one. There's
another one.
Literally, you've seen the bullet hit the jugular.
Yeah, I saw one like that, but it wasn't. I wouldn't say it's a close up. It seems pretty far away.
Well, there was one that really, because again, I saw the still. I think probably where you did, where you could see the point of impact. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, maybe it went between his throat and the jugular. But then when you saw the other one, it went clearly right into it, because it was like
someone of blood.
There was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a spray. It was like someone dumped a can of paint. It was horrifically bad.
I believe we need to. I think I'm not with the censorship of this stuff. I don't, particularly. People want to see it, they should see it because we should know what happened.
Oh, and that's why I wanted to see. Not. I don't want to say it's morbid curiosity, but I wanted to know what, and because people are like, I don't think he's going to survive.
There's a lot
of course, we know now
speculation that goes around. People say this and that, and later on, years later, they claim XYZ, and you're like, no, I saw the video of it. I know what happened.
But if you're squeamish, you definitely do not want to watch that video. It's all over Twitter.
People will still make say that when Trump was attempted assassination of Trump, he cut his ear on purpose. He did it. Like, people still say that.
Yeah. MSNBC continued their disgusting propaganda route by, saying that, this was one of his supporters that was firing a weapon.
Celebratory. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
How do you sit there and say that without being literally insane? So I mean, I'm just forced to believe that these people aren't just liars at this point. They're crazy. How I don't even get it. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, and while you're on, since we're talking about MSNBC or whatever they're becoming, what's the new name? I can't even remember. That's how.
Just
how
MS.
Bad. Yeah. It's Miss Now. Miss Now. Ms. Now. It's probably supposed to be called Ms.
Miss Now. Yeah.
Yeah. At any rate, there's people that keep on posting stuff on Twitter, calling for the FCC director to pull their broadcast license. Folks, there is no such thing as a broadcast license issued by the FCC for a cable network. That does not exist. That's not how that works. That's only for what they call over-the-air reception, which is your regular local channels, your 269, whatever, that type of stuff. That's the ones that get issued broadcast licenses, and some of them are owned by NBC, ABC, CBS, whatever. But most stations are not. They're affiliates, and they have their own license that they got from their company, which may own a dozen or more television stations. So calling on the FCC to pull their broadcast license is not a viable avenue to pursue. We need to find other ones to go after them for.
Besides,
So-
I would like to hear what they would say, proving
Oh yeah,
that
don't
they are
silence them.
insane. Don't silence them. Never silence anybody.
You guys want a little bit of a Canadian. You want a view from Canada, I guess.
Mhm.
Are you? You're probably not aware. Do you know who Rachel Gilmore is?
Not
Anyway,
offhand.
she's a
CNBC?
a young journalist, like sort of late 20s.
Yeah.
She used to work for some media outlet. She was like horrible, so partisan, and she got fired.
Right.
And then she was
Hired by the CBC.
in our last election, she was doing some fact checking. She was going to work for some fact checking agency, and the public just came up and, is this a joke? And they I think they fired her. Anyway, like a typical all the typical politician or reporters, journalists who can't get a job or do anything, they go to do their online stuff. She put out her hot take about this, and I'm sure you guys are aware of the Republicans pounce meme, or right, whenever anything Democrats do something wrong, it's always Republicans pounce on Democrats. I'm sure you've heard of that one.
We do.
Before.
I have not heard that one before.
You never heard that one? Oh,
No.
it's the way
Cam?
it's a typical Cam.
No.
You never heard that one? Okay, I'll quickly
Maybe it's a
explain it.
Canadian thing.
No, it's an American thing. It's so anyway, think about this whenever you read a news story. What happens in the left-wing media is that normally what happens is that when Republicans do something wrong, it's Republicans did this wrong thing. When Democrats do something wrong, it's Republicans pounce on Democrats.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Right?
I've
So
heard
that's
that.
the standard.
Well, yeah, that's what they're
it's a
doing with
framing.
that's what they're
Yeah.
doing with this this
So
Ukrainian
listen-
girl who was murdered.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's all our fault. It's our fault
Republican
that we're bringing it
firestorm.
up.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you notice?
It's not woman was murdered. It's Republicans angry because of this incident, right? So anyway, there's Rachel Gilmore. Here she is. It's just a piece of work. But I'll read you her quote from X is on there. Terrified to think of how far right fans of Kirk, aching for more violence, could very well turn this into an even more radicalized moment. Will they now believe their fears have been proven right and feel they have a right to retaliate regardless of who actually was behind the initial shooting? This is the the usual blame the victim, and this is when whenever there's a terrorist attack, it's like, oh no, what fear from this community who the terrorist might be from, that people, what fears, what could happen, the backlash, oh no, that kind of stuff. So that's that's our take. That's been going around a little bit. But,
Yeah, you buddy of mine, speaking of the T word, buddy of mine just reminded me, what tomorrow is.
Yeah. What do you guys think? And this is what, from my, up north here, I always kind of like to watch America and see very interested to see what happens. Someone I noticed saying that, we might see a reaction that would be similar to, if the assassination of Trump had been successful, what might have changed in American politics, and how might that have changed the country? And we might see something of that in this incident. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
I believe that basically we would have been in a civil war at that point.
Yeah.
It would be most likely a civil war would have happened, because basically you have people that would just go completely out there, wanting heads for that assassination.
Right.
Yeah.
And it would have turned ugly. It would have turned really
Who's
ugly.
saying we don't?
What do you guys think?
We just want it to be done in a
How will this
legal
affect?
way.
American politics, or
I hope so.
Well,
how
you know what
how
the
do you
thing is,
think?
I don't want there should be if it's 2 parties, 3 parties, we should continue to have that. We should continue to be a republic the way
Mhm.
we've always been for over 200 years. You know, that should never change to that point. That's what our forefathers put into that place, that we're able to, you know, go with the Constitution every time. And it's the because you have those out there. I mean, I saw a video the other day where an imam walked into a Muslim owned store and says, "Listen, you shouldn't be selling alcohol or pork or lottery tickets. It's against, you know, the religion, and you need to stop doing it now." And I'm like,
Sharia law.
Sharia law. They said,
Yeah.
no, this is America. If you want Sharia law, there's 40 other countries in the world that have Sharia law, and go live there. There's no
Yeah.
problem. You know, if you want to live here, you know, you do your religion, pray to whatever you believe in and stuff like that. I have no problem. But when you're pushing it onto others and telling them that you need to do this because we say so, you know, that's wrong.
Well, Texas passed a law banning Sharia law.
Yeah. But they also passed a law banning anime too. So
Yeah. So,
So
well,
I actually don't agree with Madman about that. I think that part of a citizen's duty or job is to agitate and change their country, and they have a right to do that, change their country in whatever way
yes,
that
but you
they
yeah, but
think
you should
is,
do it by the law, by within
of
the
course,
Constitution.
within
by
the
the
framework
law,
of
the
the law.
By the
Constitution.
Constitution,
If
not
the
by force.
majority of Americans, want Sharia law to bring in, they can do that. Just like if the majority of Americans want Christian laws to come in, or anything like that, they should be allowed to do that. Now, that's not to say that there can't be sort of shenanigans. Dirty politicians, illegally bring in millions of people who think a certain way in order to fundamentally change the nature of the country. I mean, there's that's
Or
something
just
wrong with that, and you can put a stop to that, and protest against it, or do whatever. But I mean, people can. If you're a citizen of a country, you should be able to agitate, or legally, for whatever changes you think should happen to law. And even if I don't agree with those changes, of course.
Just a note, TPUSA has just put up a response to the situation. Let me just read on there. It is within a hefty heart that we confirm that Charlie James Kirk has been murdered by a gunshot that took place during the Turning Point USA, the America Comeback Tour campus event at the Utah Valley University on September 10th, 2025. May he receive into our merciful arms our loving Savior who suffered and died for Charlie. We ask that everyone keep his family and loved ones in his prayers. We ask that you please respect their privacy and dignity at this time.
I mean, he's got two small kids, hey,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, baby, right?
Yeah, 2 and 3 or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's pretty bad.
And
horrible.
and I said this before earlier.
Yeah.
Tim Pool's security team is rethinking the situation, that they say no live events, but guys like Steven Crowder, Candace, and all the rest of them, they're probably either beefing up their security or rethinking their events.
Well, that's
Oh yeah, I mean, for
that's
sure.
I mean, this was a sniper. He was on a building.
Oh yeah,
There's
it had to be a sniper.
there's yeah, from about 200 yards is what they're saying. There is a picture. There's a video, and you can see clearly what
bump.
appears to be a sniper on top
Could
of
be
a roof.
I saw it. I was like, I mean, it's something there, but it's hard to tell.
Right.
It could be a person lying down, though, for sure.
I mean, they have
Yeah.
cops at these events. What do we got? A bunch of Barney Fifes in the police?
Well, I don't think they don't usually. It's not like the president of the United States
clear
where
the
they
roofs.
check clear the roofs for snipers and stuff, right?
Well, they're going to have to start.
Well,
I mean, they didn't do a very good job with Trump last year.
No, but considering the fact that universities, they, for the last decade, how many attacks that have been? I mean, even at Berkeley was supposed to be a freedom of speech university, and it basically was attacked and burnt upon. Back years ago, with conservative voices.
So there's
I just
another
don't think people thought a sniper would be.
there's another statement that came out from Hassan Piker, I guess, was supposed to have a debate with Kirk at Dartmouth on the 25th, and on his Twitch live stream. Now, I'm not familiar with Hassan Piker.
Oh boy, he's a
He's a nut job. Okay,
he's a piece of work.
but he did come out and said this is a terrifying incident. The reverberation of people seeking out vengeance in the aftermath of this violent, aberrant incident is going to be genuinely worrisome. So,
Oh yes,
Oh,
the retribution is the problem, right? The imaginary retribution
right,
that never comes, right?
That's what I
considering
was-
earlier
that's what I was saying.
when it happened, he was okay with, he was applauding it.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Earlier. That's how they always.
yeah,
Oh no, the backlash
they do an awful lot of projecting.
never comes.
Mhm.
They always are projecting. They projected back with January 6th, trying to claim.
How many
you know.
left wing whatevers were injured because of the Trump assassination?
Right.
Well, interesting side note, maybe. As some of you may know, I like testing AI responses to things, so I asked Grok about this, and the thing I was looking for was
It's a legit video.
the occurrences of violence against right-wing figures versus left-wing, and it cites places like the Southern Poverty Law Center and other very trustworthy sources, according to it. And it just says there are no attacks on right-wing people.
Good.
And
So Charlie must be alive.
right, yeah, exactly. But there are many,
Trump is wrong.
from the from the right. They claim it's 57% of all violence is committed by people on the right, which of course is, nonsense. We just look, open your eyes. But this is the problem, right? Because people won't ask the questions, won't doubt the lies that they're being fed. I'm not saying there is no such thing as right-wing violence. There are crazies across the spectrum, but clearly in the last several years, there's a pattern, and it is not, Trump supporters committing violence.
Yeah, even when you find there's violence done on left-wing politicians, you usually find it's by a left-winger that
yes,
felt that they weren't left-wing enough.
like the circumstance in Minnesota where the speaker up there was
going to mention that
assassinated by a cohort of Governor Tim Walz.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh no! But that was a right winger. That's what they keep on. That was on the list, on the same list that had the Gretchen Whitmer thing on there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. They don't know the difference.
Talking points.
Yes, and so we have AI now parroting these lies.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. People are like, "Oh, hey, Grok this and hey, Grok that," and it's like, I've gotten totally bogus responses from Grok and from the other AI as well. Don't trust AI. What is it? Trust but verify. Yeah.
It's what was I going to say? Oh, I just totally another. But you have people that are just saying, well, he's right wing, he's conservative, he's far right.
He's not far right. Right. He's left of me.
It's like Tim Pool. They call him far right. He's nowhere near far right.
No, he's not.
Half the people that they criticize that they're far right
Tim Pool is left of me.
Is
far left of me.
It's like I laugh. I laugh when I hear.
I'd say he's on the right of the.
He leans right, but
he leans right, but
for sure. But
far right.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Far right, far left, far. I mean, far right. They just use that.
He leans right from left to the middle.
They just slander people with that far right. Far right equals fascist.
Oh, but you hear it everywhere. You hear
all
it.
They try. That's what
you hear it in Australia. You hear it in the UK.
I ignore it whenever I hear it because I know it's just.
You tune it out. It's spin.
Propaganda.
Yeah,
it's just a way of trying to say, Hitler, fascist. That's what
Nazi.
And it's
far right equals half fascist. That's what.
And it's nonstop, and it's designed to dehumanize normal people with normal beliefs, into being targets for the psychopaths. Like again, we don't know about this particular shooter, but
Yeah.
you can guess where it's going to go. But the same pattern is well, yes, I am fighting for freedom against these, whoever the 8-year-olds that they're murdering in churches, for example. They're being promoted as if they're freedom fighters, and this is intentional. And it's going on broadly and aggressively and openly. And is our society going to keep putting up with that or not?
They're literally trying to encourage more.
I mean, I think
They want copycats.
Charlie Kirk was obviously on the right side of the political spectrum. By
Oh,
no
sure.
means would I say he would be far right. I mean, he seems just a pretty normal right-wing Republican.
Well, if you're not Mao,
Christian
you're
family,
right-wing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christian family. I mean, pretty
Self-educated.
conservative. Yeah.
Well, you guys, have you seen the meme? It's like the what made you far right wing or whatever. It's like, or I forget what it was exactly, but it's like basically I'm just a normal person from the 90s. That's what your far right is today.
Yeah.
I'm from the 80s, so
Okay.
Have you seen the
even
video?
worse.
I forgot who put it out. It was one of these sites on X about the time traveler goes back in time to kill Hitler.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Oh, that was the Babylon Bee did that.
The Babylon Bee, yeah, that's right. Babylon Bee did that, and it's like, you want to kill me? We both agree with this,
Yeah.
It was like you wearing a Planned Parenthood. I loved her.
Margaret Sanger. People don't understand what the evil that Margaret Sanger was, the founder of Planned Parenthood. Oh, but she wanted for what is it that women's rights and reproductive rights? No. She was for eugenics.
Yeah,
she wanted to wipe out minorities through control.
Yeah.
That's one of your honored your
This is their hero.
One of your heroes. Just kind of like what was it, Robert Byrd? Wasn't it Robert Byrd?
Yes.
Yeah.
Klan member.
He was KKK. It's like he was one of your Democrat heroes. Oh, but he wasn't like that in his later life. Oh, bull.
Switched.
Yeah, switched. The party's
KKK was it's just a bunch of guys who get together and drink beer.
Right.
They
yeah,
just,
and the thing that the thing that aggravates me the most when they throw around the Nazi word, and they were like, it's like, do you know what that means? That means National Socialist. I have no use for any socialists at all, period. I don't want to deal with any of them. There's no such thing as good socialism. Yeah. Socialism is the difference between socialism and communism is one is jogging and the other one is running, sprinting. That's the difference. They're both heading in the same direction.
Was it Freedom Tooms that did the video about socialism, and they said like, well, we'll try it again in 20 years, and then 20 years later said, we'll try it again in another 20 years, and they go all the way to the end of time, and they're like, well, gee, it's going to work now, and the universe just implodes in itself.
Right. It never works.
There's some I'm a little bit of a student of history. There's some interesting theories and ideas about how what happened after World War II, how the political discourse changed and how certain people tried to change it. This whole, socialism thing didn't work very well. We found out Hitler was pretty bad. I guess we got to distance ourselves from them. How are we going to do that? That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just arbitrarily throw around the word dictator. Like, it's like, no. Wait, did you live in the Biden administration years? Because I did, and that was pretty dictatorial, in my opinion.
Well, in regards
the Ministry of Information, Ministry or
literally, they had
sing the song about reporting your neighbors, and
yes, I mean it was literally laid out
the Marxist playbook.
Yeah, right.
But one thing that, and this might be in relation to what Snob was saying, what people, I think you're right, is the effort following World War II obscured this intentionally, and that is that people say, oh well, fascism and communism are opposites. No, it's literally, and people laugh at this because again they've been brainwashed. What does it stand for? National Socialist. They were socialists. They were authoritarian. Fascism is collusion between government, uh, um, corporations, to the detriment of the people, right? That's what it is. What's communism? It's government owning companies, right? It's a dime's worth of difference. It's a difference between national socialism and global socialism. That's the difference in communism and fascism.
Right.
Well, no, the difference between Nazism and Soviet communism, that's the difference between those two.
They didn't like each other, by the way.
Of course not, because
they hated each other.
Well, the Soviets were international socialists, and the Nazis were national socialists.
Right.
That's just what I said. I said global socialists.
So that's the difference between those two. But I think, you kind of got to look at Mussolini. I mean, he's the guy who called himself a fascist.
Right.
Like, he's the one who
he coined
said,
the term fascist.
We are fascists. That's what he called himself. So you got to look at them. But I mean, Cam, you're right. The difference between, communism, for example, Soviet communism versus Nazi socialism is that, the Nazis would go to the corporation and say, hey, work with us, do what we tell you, and, you'll get to make money and, all that good stuff.
Right.
Or otherwise, we'll just take your business, or we'll put someone else in, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what it isn't is,
and then the socialists, the Soviet communists would just come in and just take the business.
Right. It's what it isn't is free market. Market economy.
Yeah, there's no free market.
It's manipulation and authoritarianism.
It's just hey, let's get the corporate types on our side, or let's instead of just taking over all their stuff.
Well, again, the people, the anti-fascists, right? Oh, we're Antifa. Da, da, da. Well,
they are fascists.
They are
the epitome of it.
They use the exact tactics of brown shirts in 1930s Germany.
Sure do.
Literally, it's in that run up to Hitler taking power. It's they literally go and punch people in the street who aren't kowtowing enough and breaking up political protests and things. Well, what does Antifa do? The exact same thing. They are street violent thugs run by guess which party.
Mm-hmm.
When I first, when I was a teenager and I first read 1984, I was like, and I remember reading the part is like, they'll always call themselves the opposite of what they are. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. But I didn't really believe it. Right. Like I was like, oh, let's say I didn't say I didn't believe it, but I was skeptical. I mean, you can't call yourself
rules
something
for radicals.
and do the exact opposite and then get away with it. People will see through that, right? But as I've gotten older, that is 100% what they do. They call themselves the exact opposite of who they are, and they're really whatever it is that they're fighting against is what they are. And of course, Antifa is a perfect example of that. I 100% agree. They are, they right out of the playbook of the brown shirts.
That's what they are. They're
covering their faces, even all that stuff.
Yeah. They are the descendants of the brown shirts. The brown shirts became on. Antifa started to rehash themselves in the 1980s during the Reagan administration, and then they died off a little bit, and now they're back again.
I mean, at least the anarchists, didn't want anybody. Remember when that was a big thing? Everybody was painting the anarchy symbol everywhere. It was graffiti.
And not to get too far off of this
punk rock thing.
Yeah, not to get too far off of this. Will somebody tell Greta Thunberg that basically lighting a boat on fire is not a missile attack?
Drone. It was a drone attack. It was a missile from a drone. Don't you know?
No, it wasn't. It was.
I know. It was a flare that they. First of all,
how stupid are you?
The most recent one. They fired a flare.
That's the second
generator. Yeah,
that's the second one. The first one is somebody dropped a cigarette on the freaking. On a pile of the life jackets.
Yeah, these people are stupid. Oh my God! That's first of all, you don't aim a flare anywhere near the boat. Why would you do that? Are you dumb? Were they trying to cause themselves to die?
I have no idea.
That's literally what you're doing. and of course, I'm glad they got busted for that, because now maybe the wind of her will be taken a little out of her sails because of her
Well, she should
crazy.
be
Well-
taken away from her parents. That's the one thing.
Well, she's an adult now.
Oh, she's an adult now. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. She's
yeah.
an adult
I
for
thought
a
she was still
while.
under.
How
I thought she was
dare
under-
you?
No,
Was
it's
when
been
she
years.
was
It's been at this for
and
years.
somebody
years.
tell her that she needs to get her haircut. Stop looking like Lord Farquaad from freaking Shrek.
Yes,
Well,
Miss Farquaad.
I can't think of a more manufactured figure in society than Greta Thunberg.
She's a
Ton-
tool.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, was a puppet as a child and
Mhm.
is now run by I don't know who. But I mean, again, just shifting. Oh, suddenly now I'm a Hamas supporter. It's like, did the grift off of the climate stuff get a little old, and you get to move on to something else, or,
Yep,
or
it did.
are
Yeah.
we really just finding out that it's
She'll
all
come
just
back.
the same grift?
Well, you got to remember her family is a bunch of actors.
Mm.
Her go back,
Oh, so
grandparents,
she's-
and all that. They're all
she's
actors.
an actor.
Yeah.
She's not a very good one.
No,
No,
she's not.
no.
You seen her sister? It's oh god. I think her sister is like dancing around, like I guess she's a singer or something. Some of her videos are running around Twitter, and it's like, oh my god.
I don't know. I saw what's her name that was running for president's stepdaughter. They're trying to say she's the left wing version of Sydney Sweeney, and I'm not even sure if she's a female. So
Oh my god.
yeah, she's not.
No comment.
And,
Not that-
and this whole thing,
not
you
in the
gotta
same
remember.
league.
What?
She's not in the same league as
No.
not even close. Oh
No. And tomorrow's 9/11.
yeah.
Okay. Then we have what's going on in Nepal right now,
I'm kind of proud of the Napoleons.
and
If
what's
they
going
can-
on in
if they can
France.
keep it. I saw that too.
And I
And I love the flags flying in the UK,
Yeah,
and
that-
hopefully
that
Scotland
too.
and Ireland and all over the, everywhere.
I don't have
England.
any. I don't have any faith in the
Well,
English.
the guy got arrested
And-
for calling somebody a muppet.
and
He
and
got
they-
it. He called
I
the
mean-
cop. He's like, "What are you, a muppet?" The cop. He's talking to the cop. He's like,
and I mean,
"Well, I'm
they have a
offended by you
law.
calling me a muppet." Well, you have a right. You have the right to be offended, and I have the right to say it.
Look, the
Yes,
UK
that's-
is already doomed. I mean, they have a law where you can get arrested, which is the law they're using against this Muppet guy and a bunch of other people, the guy, the Isle of Bacon guy, and all that stuff. They have a law that says that if somebody feels harassed, intimidated, or alarmed by something you say, either in person or on social media, you can be arrested for that.
That's stupid.
Like, yeah, it is, but they have a law.
It's literally
the law that they're using.
retarded.
That's the law
Retarded.
they're using to enforce on these things. Like, can you imagine that? How can you have a discussion about anything if you cannot risk offending a person? You can't have a serious
I'm
discussion about
offended.
anything.
I'm offended by just about everything every Democrat says.
I don't understand. I mean,
every word come out of their mouth I find offensive. But you know what? They have a right
mean,
to say it.
if they came to arrest me for whatever, I would say to the cop, "Hey, you are intimidated. I feel harassed and intimidated by you being
Arrest
here.
yourself, damn
Arrest
it.
yourself." Of course, they're not going to do that, right? But like, it's just that's how stupid the law is.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well,
Yeah, I know. It's
I
all
don't
this
know.
whole.
Do I want to say
situation.
make the Crusades great again?
This would be number 9 if we're going into another Crusades. This would be number 9 in history.
Would it really?
Yeah, there were.
I know
8
about the big ones.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
first-
There were 8 big ones. There were a couple of small ones in between it, but technically, as far as when you look at the history books, there were technically 8 Crusades in history. This would be number 9 if we're going to another. crusade.
This time we need to liberate the UK and all the countries within the UK, because technically the UK
they
is
might
not a
put-
country.
They might be doing themselves. The Catholics and the Protestants are
Getting along?
they're
Good.
joining together. I mean,
Yes.
when have you heard that in history?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Look,
there's lots
I mean,
of lives.
the next scary
lives
level
going
of the IRA comes back into freaking fruition.
yeah, there's probably some caches out there hidden in some places, I'm sure still.
I mean, that girl that they arrested, and she was trying to protect her sister. And it's like, you're arresting a kid
for
for
defending.
defending
There was
yourself?
3 girls too. There
Yeah.
wasn't just 2. There was 3. So the international media totally messed up the whole story.
Mhm. I mean, they
Um,
finally arrested the guy.
well, good. And about the woman, his wife.
No, they don't say anything. It was only the
She's
guy.
she attacked the one of the children.
Hmm.
Attacked, physically battered a child.
Yeah, no.
You
I
know,
think that so far they said that only the guy was arrested, but that's about as far as they went. But you know that he got released.
of course he did.
So you're looks like you're lost in the. I'm just doing a general search. I can't seem to find you out of all the live.
Yeah, well,
There's
you
probably
know the
a
AI,
million of them. There's
that
Yeah.
AI thing again.
There's a million of them.
I mean, I got Double D is up right now too. I usually watch him too at this hour while I'm finishing up.
You
work.
had Nate. Nate was up there.
Yeah,
Was it
Double D is Diversity and Dragons. If you
Yeah.
don't know,
Tim
Batman.
Pools in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
And he was just doing a live feed, but he used in 30
yeah.
minutes.
Well,
I don't
everybody
know
was doing something.
if Grobercast is still on. They were on before we went on air. I know they were talking about that. I mean, we've been running steady about 10 viewers, so which is
Yeah.
not
Oh,
bad.
really? There's
That's-
10 viewers.
that's
There's
cool.
viewers in the chat.
I mean, jump into chat. I'd love to hear from some other people. We've
Yeah.
heard from Paulus.
Yeah, that's about
So,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fairly new to stream. I mean, the last time I did streaming was about true streaming about 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago.
Well, I mean, you've been on with the rest of us, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, besides the being on there, but my own,
and your own
my
stuff.
channel.
Yeah.
I mean, and then for those of you on Rumble, yeah, please do click in there too. You know, we're paying attention. We haven't lost you over there in Rumble. 'Cause we
So
are
what do
broadcasting in
you
Rumble too.
what do you Americans think is gonna
I don't know,
happen?
man.
A little more.
How
How is it going to change the culture of the political culture of America? Is it going to change it, or will it just be
well, like I said-
carry on?
I think
Like I
Gen
said,
Z
9/11 is
might
tomorrow.
wake up. Gen Z might wake up. The millennials are, I think, already set where they're going to be.
I mean, part
but
of what
maybe
Kirk did was wake up.
Gen
young
Alpha is
generation.
not old enough yet, right? What's the oldest Gen Alpha?
No, Gen Alpha are still kids.
Are they? They're still
Maybe
like
12
not
or
even
something like that.
12. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still kids.
But maybe they'll see, and it's like, this is what happens when crazy people, and I mean certifiably crazy. You can just look and I see all these posts and from these crazy people. It's always the crazy eyes. Always the crazy eyes.
Well,
Mhm.
I mentioned earlier, my fear is that this won't change anything. That people will just look at this and
We'll be complacent, and we'll be like,
and tomorrow they'll be onto something else. It's I could say, oh, this is because of this generation or whatever, but we're all kind of trapped in this rapid fire stuff. I mean, again, yesterday we collectively were talking a lot about this Ukrainian girl that was murdered.
Yeah.
And well, that's going to get bumped off the radar here.
The
Well, we
second
can't
one
forget-
got
we
the second
can't-
one got lost in the radar. Because you heard there was a second attack.
About Colorado, you're talking about?
Was it Colorado?
I thought there was
a
a
woman
shooting at
walking
home.
her dog.
Oh, this is something else.
Yeah,
just randomly attacked.
yeah, got randomly was murdered. She was like a veterinary doctor, and she was I guess a professor at the university for veterinary. And
Yeah.
she was murdered also. And this was like I guess a couple
Well,
of days later.
they get bumped off, but I don't think they get forgotten. They just pile up.
I think that's what we need to make sure. We can't let these incidents, because the poor Ukrainian girl, that was a murder, right? She was just surprise. That was
Surprise! She was sitting there.
Yeah.
Have you seen the whole entire video?
Oh, I
sitting
did.
There and realized what the freak just happened, and then she keels over and dies.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it took her she didn't keel over right away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She
Grabbed
was
her neck
realizing
and-
what the hell just happened. And by
Yeah.
the time she realized what happened, she was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
girl.
not uncommon that someone doesn't realize that they've been wounded. It's
Yeah.
very possible
that you're going to die. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just the shock of it, you don't, and I mean, even sometimes if you get a cut, depending on how it works, it can compress your blood vessels, so it doesn't immediately. I mean, she did bleed pretty quickly, but
Yeah.
it could take a second, before it really goes. But you saw. I mean, it was only a matter of a few seconds before she collapsed
But you had
because
5 other people sitting there.
yeah.
Well,
Five
yeah,
other
but you
people.
got a crazy guy with a knife too.
I mean,
What
you
do
would
you-
have been,
what do you
You'd
do?
be shocked too if you're sitting, you're sitting
But
there. and some guy stands up, and then you're like, whatever. He's going to a different car. Or whatever.
you know what would have fixed that? If somebody was concealed carrying, they could have stopped the guy.
Was that?
Well, I
was that
don't
New
know.
York?
No, it was in
North
Charlotte,
Carolina.
North
Oh,
Carolina.
North Carolina. That's right, Charlotte.
It happened so. I mean, the guy got her so quickly and suddenly. I mean, someone could have stopped him.
Oh, yeah.
Afterwards, but I
Afterward.
think I mean, it's just impossible without situational awareness to be able to stop that because it happens so fast.
But,
I
but
mean,
you can't write off the the
deterrent.
effect of the preventative effects of of concealed carry in the Second Amendment, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he basically backstabbed her. That's literally a rogue backstab ability. Anybody that plays tabletop games, that's basically what he did to her.
Yeah,
he got her from behind. She was unsuspecting.
point is-
Just to interrupt just a moment. Breaking news: New York Post is reporting Charlie Kirk shooting suspect arrested in Utah, according to the FBI.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's about 5 minutes ago.
Well, didn't we say that kind of sort of?
No, they had a suspect. It's officially arrested.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they had a person of interest who is now
Person of interest,
officially a suspect.
Yeah. But they're not saying who it is, what their name or anything like that.
Yeah. They can't hold on to that too long.
No.
Oh no, it'll be the guy has to be.
Oh, I see.
You got to be booked in 24 hours, right?
I see.
So that stuff will come out within the first 24 hours.
What you were talking about, Lauren Boebert requested a moment of prayer for Kirk.
Yeah.
And the Democrats shouted back, no. Every one of those Democrats needs to be censured and expelled from the House.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Well, we're about to lose a couple of them very soon with the redistricting in Texas.
Yeah. And
Especially two
Oklahoma
big ones that basically have
and
been
Missouri and Florida.
Apparently, MSNBC has issued a statement apologizing for their on-air personalities being pathetic morons.
Gee,
boy.
Thanks. Yeah, they're still. When do they officially change their name? Probably at the beginning of the year or in October, fiscal year, something like that. That's when the official, because they are no longer owned by NBC, from what I understand. So,
Yeah, they branched off to them, and I forgot who else. There's like two stations have changed off on there.
And yet they kept the MS, even though Microsoft left and departed that whole thing back when Soledad O'Brien was still. Do you remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like
original.
her first gig, her first real gig.
Yeah.
She was on MSNBC.
I got to tell you, I loved MSNBC back in the old days. It was the station I watched. Old days, real old days.
Well, it was the same thing with CNN. CNN was great back in the day.
Well, honestly, didn't 9/11 kind of propel MSNBC into? I mean, I think that's what we had on.
That's the channel I watched most for that, and then the War on Terror stuff. It was the channel I was watching.
Yeah. Fox kind of started up. Fox News started up around?
No, it was before that because I think that one of the big
you couldn't get carried. They
Yeah,
couldn't get
right.
carried everywhere. Yeah.
But it was during the Clinton scandal stuff, and when he was still president, I think is when Fox News got started. So late 90s, probably. I guess.
Did not have sexual relations with that woman. Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky is not a sentence, but he tried to make it one. At any rate.
And you notice, she's trying to get back into the fold again.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually see a lot of posts from, what was it? Clinton's victim. I can't remember her name.
Which
I
one?
see him all the
Which one?
time. Well, there's one that's really vocal all the time
And still alive?
Yeah. Victim of, yeah. the type of stuff that I'm sure Clinton did on Epstein's Island.
Mm.
One of those kind of victims.
You're
Yeah,
talking about Juanita Broderick.
That's it. Yep.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah. She's pretty vocal
Miss-
on.
Miss Broderick.
Yeah.
You hear all these stories. I've lived through a lot of this stuff. I mean, growing up in the 70s and all that, you hear some of the crazy stuff. I went through the Carter administration,
Mhm.
Ford Carter, and then we went into
You probably
Reagan,
remember more of it than I do.
and it's a situation. And then coming into New York, Mayor Koch, Mayor Dinkins, Giuliani,
Yeah.
and then, I mean, I've seen some crazy shit, but nothing like what's been going on in the last 10 years.
I don't know what's going to happen in New York. If
I'm hoping it's not Mandani.
we cannot allow a communist.
I'm hoping it's not Mandani. But the thing about it is that they're pushing Como.
Mm. This sounds like a perfect op, doesn't it?
Do you want to kill grandma, or do you want to?
Or do you want socialism?
Do you want socialism? And
What do you
I love the Cubans that are calling him out.
What are you going to do in New York? I mean, it's you. Do you want the far left Democrat or the only slightly far left Democrat?
Slightly less far left Democrat.
Yeah, like what do you what are your choices? I mean,
well,
we
could have.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be. But whenever I hear you talk about New York,
we could end up.
I just go, what the heck? There's no choice. What choice do you have? Like,
we could end up.
It's a choice
like
between
Trump, Clinton. When Trump and Clinton ran, and they said, "Oh, Hillary's going to win," and everything. And then right now they say, "Oh, Mandani's going to win," and then coming in, sweeping in will be Curtis Sliwa.
I like Sliwa.
The only the only choice you have in New York seems to me to be, do we want to run 90 miles towards socialism or 80 miles towards socialism? Like,
hey, look at that! Jason's on the channel.
Jason, come on in. Come on, jump in. I sent you the link.
Jump in. The water's fine.
Maybe you could split the vote and move up the middle. Maybe, but I just
do you guys have that?
New York's been a Democratic stronghold forever. I don't imagine how you could even get out. But.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess Giuliani was the mayor. I mean, in the 90s, so maybe.
Well, Giuliani, he was the mayor when 9/11 happened.
Yeah,
Giuliani cleaned up New York.
He did, but it had to get so bad. I mean, you had movies, Taxi Driver and Charles Bronson. Like that. It got so bad in New York that they had, movies that were, talking about vigilantes coming in and shooting people in the subway, and Bernie Getz is the real life version of it, of course. And I mean, it had to get so bad that people would vote for.
There
Getz was
is
the
an
vigilante,
HBO
right?
series.
Yeah,
in fact, Jason's coming on in a minute.
Yeah.
There's a series on HBO called The Deuce. If you haven't seen that yet, it is a real. It's basically about the porn industry, the prostitution, the drugs, and the AIDS crisis in New York City around 42nd Street. And basically, most of it takes place on 42nd Street and stuff. And you see the deterioration of what they called the Deuce back then, and see how it is and how it changed through the years, through all these characters. Two of them are characters that basically they're played by James Franco, plays both twin brothers. That they ran the nightclub business with the mob back and then in some of the porn houses.
But wasn't Times Square like a dump with nothing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If
you see the Deuce,
when I see
in the 70s, right? And that's
when I see pictures of Times Square now with all these, the bright lights,
ABC and all that,
all the
and
shiny
neon.
I'm like, wow, because I went there in the late 80s. If you could believe it, I was in high school, and our high school band trip was to New York City.
Nerd.
And this was back in the day. Some of my band, I didn't do this, but some of my friends, they took their instruments. They went out they sat on a corner and played music for, spare change, like a busker or whatever. But I mean, I couldn't, Times Square was all, porn films and
peep shows and
all that crap. And
you had some of the Grindhouse movies too. What was that line that goes 3 Kung Fu daily? I was like, I want 3 Kung Fu daily, because it was 3 Kung Fu movies that they ran daily in the theaters on a rotation. You know,
Hmm.
Yeah,
'cause
but
you had
it's really it was really bad. Like I couldn't like when I see pictures of it now with Kermit the Frog and whatever those guys start scamming money off tourists. I'm like, what? That's Times Square? I can't believe it because it was
oh no,
such a crap.
Disney came in and wiped the place clean.
Yeah. Well, Giuliani and then
Yeah, Giuliani, but it was like Disney pumped the money into there.
yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was so surprised compared to what I saw. But yeah.
Guys, Madman, I appreciate you inviting me on to discuss this. I gotta take care of some things before the other show tonight on Snob's channel.
Mhm.
So I will just leave by saying,
Anything you want to plug or anything before you go?
no. You could watch Snob's channel if you want to hear anything from
okay.
me. But
Cam doesn't have anything.
We'll plug stuff on that.
yeah, but I, in all sincerity, if you're a praying type, keep Charlie Kirk's family in your thoughts,
Definitely.
because the impact of this to everyone
I know,
else
how horrible.
pales in comparison to that. Yeah,
Two young kids. I mean,
yeah.
without their dad, like that's
nuts.
That's just horrible.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
Yeah. Okay, I'll catch you guys later.
All right, see you later.
Take care. We'll see you tonight.
Okay, bye.
Night.
And yeah, buddy of mine said he had to go, but he loved the podcast. He says us guys are cool. So, that's a compliment.
Yeah. But going back to the Times Square thing. I mean, yeah, it was I mean, I've seen some movies in movie theaters there. They're just like, oh God, look at the seats in here. Oh my God.
A little sticky.
Well, no, not that they were porno seats. It's just literally they just never cleaned up the seats from popcorn, butter, and all that. And you're like, oh God. And the thing about it is, if they don't mop the place down, it's the smell when you go in there. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah,
it's horrible. I mean, what was it? What was the movie I saw? Your Hunter from the Future in a really bad theater.
Oh, wow, that's an
remember Your? Oh, I saw that
barely.
And the thing about it is, I fell asleep so bad. The movie was so bad, I fell asleep during it.
Wow.
That's how bad that movie was. But
I'm still wondering. I'm seeing these. I'm looking on Twitter and I'm seeing stuff. People are saying, I'm just wondering what's going to happen.
Are we talking powder keg? God, I hope not.
Yeah. I mean,
I hope not. But
that's what I'm thinking.
I hope this is a never forget. I hope this is a because we already forgot about the last never forget. Tomorrow.
Like I said, I'm a bit of a student of history, and these things. I mean, this is things. I mean, you don't. No one thinks it's going to happen until it happens. But all these things happen. We've got tons and tons of. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and finally it explodes. And then
Obama is praying for Kirk's family, especially his wife and 2 children. Dude, you're the one who started this crap. Sorry, but Barack Hussein Obama is not a good person. He started this crap. Racial tension. I mean, we were very, very, very close to being past that. And he just ripped that wound wide. I mean, I never had any bad thoughts about anybody. I had friends that were Black, Latino, Asian, you name it. I mean, where I grew up was pretty multicultural anyways. We had Vietnamese kids at one end of the street, Filipino across the street from my house, black neighbors down at the other end of the cul-de-sac, an immigrant from God, I don't even know, Eastern Europe somewhere. Next door. He was a little weird though.
Let me just interrupt there for a second. Let me bring to the stage right now Mr. Sci-Fi for me, Jason.
Howdy.
Hey.
Sorry, we're catching you at dinner time.
No, that's okay. I've been running late on everything all day. So, I mean, this Charlie Kirk thing just kind of threw everything off. So,
yeah.
I've just finished a pretzel.
Did you hear what I said about Obama?
It's all his fault. I agree.
Well, I said that, but no, he said he's praying for Charlie Kirk's. Now, I don't know what demon he prays to. But
Moloch.
Moloch. There you go.
I
I'm
mean,
sure
what
it's
Jason, what are your thoughts on
not
this?
not the same God I pray to.
No, it's not.
Mhm.
What were you asking me, QCast?
So what are your thoughts on this situation?
Well, I'm surprised that it's happened, and I'm not surprised that it's happened. And for reasons that I think other people have discussed, when you look at coverage of the agitation over this Ukrainian girl getting killed on the train in Charlotte, people on the right, conservatives, center right, center left, moderates, all sitting there saying, why isn't the media covering this? Why isn't the media covering this? And
Mhm.
having a count of the New York Times mentioning her name, Irina's name, once compared to hundreds of times for George Floyd, for example. And Brian Stelter, Potato Head at CNN, has the audacity, the unmitigated gall to sit on air and complain that it was right-wing agitation that got it up to the level that President Trump noticed it, so we had to cover it. Stetler, he should be taken off the air immediately for comments like that.
Yeah, that's
The
bad.
escalation on this was inevitable. I didn't anticipate that it was going to happen this quickly, but here's where we are. And I think this is the beginning. This is not the end. This is something else is going to happen. And where that happens next, who knows? I was thinking that maybe this thing in Charlotte was going to get some people to wake up and realize what was going on. This thing with Charlotte Kirk is actually going to do that, I think, with a lot of people. My kid even knows who Charlie Kirk is, and he doesn't pay attention to politics at all. And he's upset about this.
Good.
And
We
I
all need to
think,
be.
well, I think that there are a lot of people, college age and 20 somethings. I don't think that the Marxists realize what they've done here, because
It's vulcanization.
well, it's balkanization, it's radicalization, but I think it's going to work against them, because the people who are on the side of this assassination are going to learn that the people who are, supporters of Charlie Kirk are probably more widespread than you might think. And this is going to activate not only that generation, because, the active political class, let's say, are generally people who are older, in their 40s and 50s and 60s. We've been around long
Right.
enough to know that it matters what we do. We don't just sit out and do.
Right.
And I think this, more than anything else, is going to activate the 20-somethings in ways that they could not possibly have foreseen.
They've awakened the sleeping tiger.
Something.
No,
Yeah.
they pulled the griffin's tail.
Yeah. And I think that, what happened to my camera?
Your video died.
Why did it do that?
Well, Charlie Kirk basically made his bones, going around before the last election for months.
Yeah.
Talking to these college-age kids. So
And
whether they
doing it
like
in
him
a
or
way-
not, they probably know more about him than the normal American.
Well, it
because they
wasn't
might
just
have
the fact
seen
that
him
he was.
on his-
Yeah, it wasn't
on
just the
campus.
fact that he was going around talking to people. He was going around talking to people who disagreed with him, and he was having rational, reasonable conversations as to why.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, why do you think the way you do? Well, let's examine this. Let's talk about this. Let's see what the facts are.
Here's
And
your
he was-
homework. Go do
he was-
this. Go
yeah,
do that.
exactly. He
Even
was
even if they
always
didn't
encouraging.
agree, they might
Mhm.
they would have been aware of him and his name, because they
Yeah.
probably would have seen this guy and, oh, hey, he's a Nazi. Oh, let's go check him out. And they go check him out and they find out, oh, he's just,
He's not that bad.
In the last 2 years, I mean, his favoritism around the universities has grown tremendously.
yeah.
Before, they were booing him at university, or they were wanting them to kick him out. Now they're like they're
It's a
welcoming
lot-
him with open
it's a lot
arms in
harder
these
to kick him
universities.
out.
I think part of it is the shift in the cultural paradigm, because
Yeah.
when you get Joe Biden standing in front of the Liberty House in Philadelphia with all of the red lighting and the Nazi imagery, saying the Republicans are Nazis, the Republicans are bad people, and he looks exactly like the villains in V for Vendetta. He looks exactly like he's I mean, it's straight out of Goebbels Nazi propaganda what he was doing. The visual imagery of that speech galvanized a lot of people and says this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're looking at. These are the evil demon spawn who are right now in charge of the country. And that's why the election went the way it did, decisively in favor of Trump. And I think the college kids probably had a lot to do with that. Not only Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, but also Scott Pressler.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Scott
Pressler
Pressler
did a
is
bit
not,
too.
I mean, he's in his 30s,
Yeah.
and he's gay. So there's a whole nother segment of people who are not normally thought about when you look at the Republican constituency.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree a little with Jason. I mean, I think you're right, but I think the reason is, I think PB makes a good point here, right? On this,
Yeah, I was about to
point
say, yeah.
here, he's big with the under 20 something crowd, and because I think that the majority of kids who would normally go to university are somewhat apolitical, and they're they get pushed into the left wing view because universities are left wing. And so they would sort of reflexively vote left wing, or they wouldn't know. But then, as I said, Kirk spent the last months before the last election going out and talking to them, and I think he made a big change to a lot of students who might have reflexively voted left because that's what we do, whatever. And then they went and they listened to Kirk and they said, oh hey, and they actually made a decision based on as opposed to a reflexive decision. They made a thoughtful decision, and that made a big change and helped Trump get elected, definitely. So that's where I think his biggest effect was. And I agree with Jason. There's it's because we now have a group of where normally we'd have a bunch of college students and they would mostly be generally left. Now we have a bunch of college students, and some are still generally left, but there's a significant portion of them that are like, oh no, hey, I liked what he said, and I'm thinking about this stuff, and I'm going to make a different decision than a reflexive one. But yeah,
Man.
Well,
I have a net on the radio that I've got to be the logger for in about 8 minutes. So I'm probably going to jump out of here for that. I don't know if you guys are still going to be going on after
I'm not
that.
going to
Or
be on
probably
not too much longer.
Yeah, it's going to run probably until it's an emergency type of net. So
Well,
we do it every week.
to Snob's point, I think there is something to that, but I also think that you have an entire generation there in the 20-somethings that are disillusioned, disgruntled. They get sold a bill of goods. It's like, what do you mean all of this stuff that I'm trying to do with school and work and everything is for nothing? They're realized during Biden's administration, but during COVID especially, just how far left and how Marxist people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have gotten. And there was this repulsion factor, like, oh no, that's not, hang on, wait a minute, that's not what I signed up for. And I think that's partly that factored in to Trump's election as well, because you had these people that they're in college, they're learning all of this stuff and realizing that this is all just an indoctrination program and they want nothing to do with it. So it's a combination of a lot of different things, but we've seen news articles for the last year or so talking about the millennials especially, but Gen Z as well, rejecting the politics of their parents and becoming decidedly more in my generation, even Gen X. Just
Yeah, I mean
not
the
necessarily
pendulum.
out of spite, but just as a reaction to everything that's been going on, especially in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean the pendulum always swings. There's a bit of a reaction. I would agree with you there. That part of it, I think, is also. I think the economy is a factor as well. You know, the fact that in the last 5 years since COVID, I mean, prices have shot up significantly, and I think there's probably a lot of college age kids who are looking at it and are just getting out and going, geez, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford a life like my parents had.
Yeah.
Because,
Especially in Canada.
inflation, especially in Canada, it's really bad, man.
You
would
guys,
not believe.
you guys are so
would not
screwed up
believe.
there.
Yeah, you would not believe.
See, and the scary thing
not
is,
believe it.
we thought that with the resignation of Trudeau Castro, things would get better, and they didn't.
They just elected the guy who was behind the throne.
I know,
Like,
right?
It's just I don't understand it. I can't even. Of course, I mean, I'm in Alberta, which is the most right wing province.
Yeah, you're in Texas, Canada.
Texas, Canada, and we're looking to separate. I mean, we're gonna probably have a vote next year. So
Yeah.
I really can't. I used to live in Ontario, but I can't understand what happened back there. But I haven't been there in 30 years. I really don't know. I got family there, but I don't understand how they could go. Yeah, these guys have been running the place for 10 years, and they've screwed it. Everything's worse. Let's vote for them again.
Yeah.
The only thing they changed was the guy who was in charge. That's it.
They keep on importing people,
and they took the
to
guy
vote
out
for them.
I mean,
Well-
Trudeau was probably the stupidest.
He was an actor and not a very good one.
Well,
He's probably the
he was
stupidest
a
prime
known-
minister we've ever had.
Yeah.
He's literally an idiot. I don't think And they basically, I mean, I always knew he was a puppet. I mean, he was the face. He didn't do.
He
anything.
was a muppet.
He can't think. So they literally pulled out the guy who was the face, who didn't know anything, and they put in one of the guys who was one of the guys behind the throne.
Well, what's funny is that
what the hell?
when this guy comes in and gets elected, everybody was like, he's got no track record at all. He's got no history. Nobody knows anything about him. Who is this guy? Was it Kerry Carney?
He's a banker. He's
he doesn't have anything to do with politics. Ostensibly,
he's a central banker. He worked for the UK central bank. He did stuff in Canada. He was with a big company in the United States.
So he's a World Economic Forum guy.
Yeah, he's the definition of evil that the left has. A big global banker, and they voted for him.
Yeah, well, at this point, it's a race, I think, between Australia, Canada, and Germany to see who comes in second to the UK in turning over their country to foreigners.
Yeah, I would.
You're right.
Kind
on
of
there,
agree
Jason.
with that. I think the UK's first for sure.
I gotta drop, guys. I gotta go get ready.
All right.
See
Anything
you
you want
guys
to push?
tonight.
Anything you want to push?
I think
just come and watch us tonight on Sci-Fi
a couple
Snobs channel.
hours.
Yeah, a couple hours. I still have to watch the episode,
Well,
and
you
I
better
hear
get
it's
to
a
it.
good one.
Better get to it.
Something
I've
about
already done-
Vorlons and
I've
stuff
already done
involved.
my homework.
So
I'm good.
I haven't. All right,
Deal.
we'll see you guys tonight. And
All right. Yeah, I think it's PB.
All right, bye.
Is that last comment that? See ya. Is that last comment by PB is about the Canadian election? Entire case of election interference and a lie. The media pushed. Is that? I think you're referring to. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, I think he's talking about the
you're talking about
the 34 felony counts against Trump in New York.
Oh.
That was all a fraud too, because they don't have anything. I mean, nobody
got hurt.
They managed to fail to kill him. Even there is no touching this guy, and in 12 years, 8 years, however long it was, you're going to tell me that nobody could have come up with a credible accusation against him and make it stick.
You knock on wood. Did you forget to say that? You're tempting fate there, Jason.
No, I think at this point he's pretty much untouchable because they would have already beaten him had they been able to. They've impeached him twice, tried to kill him, tried to bankrupt him, tried to ruin him professionally, tried to put him in jail, and he survives everything. And I think this second term, he's proven just how much he's learned from his first term.
Oh yeah.
In terms of political savvy and reliability and who he's got surrounding him, who he trusts. It's a completely different administration.
I would agree, but I mean, I just think, you can't never count evil out, man. I mean,
oh no. But also, don't ascribe to evil what is generally just stupidity or something like that. What's the phrase?
Yeah. But I mean, come on, this is evil. This isn't stupidity. I mean,
yeah,
these aren't. I mean, these people aren't. You can't be stupid and do these sort of
no. Well, and I think it goes all the way back. Like I was saying earlier, we were joshing around about it being Obama's fault. I do think that he's a starting point for a lot of this in terms of race relations, in terms of Marxist theory, the critical theory that shows up in schools and the DEI stuff. All of that is Marxism. And when you have a president like Obama, who is a Marxist at heart, he's raised a Marxist. He aligned with former members of the Weather Underground, for goodness sake. I mean, he's associated with terrorists who attacked the United States government. That's where this guy comes from. And then you've got Valerie Jarrett on his staff, who I have no doubt in my mind that she still got ties to Iranian intelligence operatives. And I think they were running Obama. That's my opinion. I don't have any.
Well, he gave billions of dollars to the Iranians. I mean,
$6 billion? Sitting on
I
the
mean,
heart.
geez.
But
and then, of course, that was all used for terrorism. I mean, no one,
yeah.
You could have, I mean, a moron could have known that,
but I think
billions of dollars, I wonder what's going to happen.
I think Valerie Jarrett was coming. I think Valerie Jarrett was an operative of the Iranian intelligence agencies, and she was Obama's handler. She still is. And I think he was put into office because it was supposed to be Hillary. And this kid comes out of nowhere, first term senator. He's only been in office for 2 years, never does anything prior to that. And they greased the skids for him to get in there by getting Jack Ryan to drop out of the race. Otherwise, Jack Ryan would have won. And this would have been a completely different scenario. You could trace this all the way back to Jerry Ryan's fault. It's 7 of 9's fault where we are right now. Because the divorce documents for her and Jack Ryan were sealed. And somebody managed to get copies of it and put it out in public, and that ruined Jack Ryan's political career. So he leaves. They run Alan Keyes at the last minute, and he doesn't have any time to run. He doesn't have any time to do anything. And Obama beats him handily because the machine in Chicago said so. And then after that, he's free and clear, and he's being run by the Iranians. And here we are.
Well,
race relations are in the tank. I mean, between him and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, I mean, they ramped up unquestionably enthusiastically after that. Everything became about race.
Yeah, I find it really like the way we are Americans are in with race and North Americans about race lately. I mean, it's just incredible. Like, you're right about Obama and race. I remember growing up, in the 80s and 90s, and there was, I'm not saying race relations were perfect, but I mean there were so many shows on, the Cosby Show, all these shows which had black families on it, and white people watched those shows. Everybody watched those shows. Everyone liked them.
Yeah, they were some of the highest rated television shows that were on at the time.
It seemed to me that race relations we were coming to a place where people didn't really care. We were in this nobody cares that much anymore about it. Who cares? We're all people, etc.
Yep.
And then Obama comes in. The next thing you know, it's like everything's about race. I mean, he's saying that the police who are, questioned that professor, and he's like, oh, it's because they're racist.
Yeah.
What? I mean,
just want to say out there, Crowdfunders, thank you for stopping by. Have a good night.
Yeah, you're getting a good little number of people coming in.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, and the thing
Maybe you
is
should
with the
become a political channel.
Well, no, I've been covering New York news here and all that, and I just want to say because Jason had said about the Weather Underground. I mean, you have Mayor Bass over on the West Coast that she was part of a group
Yeah.
situation on there
Yep.
with the Cubans on there. And the thing is, most people don't realize this. I'm Puerto Rican, and we know of the FALN. I know Jason, you probably know about the FALN back in the day.
Yep,
And
heard 'em.
yeah, basically, they did a lot of bombings in New York City and other places, and their bomber was arrested, put in Bellevue Hospital. The group that Bass trained with executed a massive escape out of Bellevue's hospital for this guy to escape. I mean, this guy is still wanted, and supposedly he's in Cuba as well.
Yeah, I mean it you can trace this stuff back, and you can even go back as far as Woodrow Wilson's administration for some of this stuff. They play the long game, and that's something that I think conservatives don't understand molecularly. We haven't got it ingrained in our bones yet, just how deep this runs, and just how evil these people are, and how patient they are. This has been over 100 years coming. It started in Wilson's time because he was trying to get the League of Nations, which ended up being the United Nations. You have him leaning into. He had a couple of advisors that were that encouraged him. We got to get the schools. We got to get our hands on the schools. And so this whole education program, now Department of Education didn't start until 1976 under Carter, but Wilson understood that if you could start these indoctrination programs in the public schools, then you can you get generational capture from an early age, and you get these kids thinking how they need to be dependent on the government for all of their answers. It becomes father, mother, priest, teacher, what have you. Then in the 60s, you had Cloward Priven. Cloward Priven were a couple of academics, Marxists, who basically said the only way you're going to change the system is to overload the system and break it, so then you could do something else. And Obama absolutely was an acolyte of this. And they bought in and got hooked up with some black terrorist groups, not the Black Panthers. I can't remember who it was, but some smaller groups that you overwhelm the system. You overwhelm the education system. You overwhelm the welfare system. You overwhelm all of these different social programs, the handout programs, so that the government is so overwhelmed, the system breaks. And then at that point, you can come back in with something like a universal basic income type of thing, where everybody becomes dependent on the government and we're all on the dole. That's ultimately where we're supposed to be headed here. That's what Obama was set in place to do. That's what Hillary was going to do as the third Obama term. It's what they tried to do with Biden. But Biden was gassed by then. I mean, he wasn't even there, so the whole thing backfired. And then you have this alternative media, the alt-right media, the new media, however you want to call it, Rumble and Twitter. If Elon hadn't bought Twitter, a lot of this stuff never would have come out. And now you've got Barry Weiss, who walked away from the New York Times and set up her own thing with the Free Press, and now they're talking to her about running CBS News, because she says the media needs to be objective when we're covering this stuff. And the New York Times was beholden to these 12 angry blue hair check marks on Twitter and not looking at objective fact. And she called them out, and she was, and she's not a conservative. And that's when you started to see all of this shift. People who are not normally conservatives, Scott Pressler, Donald Trump, Robert Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, all of this group coalescing because principle patriotism took precedent over party. And you've got gas bags on both the left and the right, in the Democrat and the Republican parties, both, who would like nothing more than to maintain the status quo because they stay in power. And Trump's not having any of that. And we're only 8 months in. We still have midterms to go through. You've got the redistricting that's going on. Missouri just did theirs. I heard you guys talking about it before. Texas is doing theirs. Missouri just did it to where now Missouri only has one Democrat seat. Changes are coming. May not happen fast enough, but that's the way the government is designed. It's designed to move slow, so you don't get radical, rash decisions that you regret later. Sort of.
I mean, I think PB's last 2 points he's making. Those are good points. I'm just gonna before we move on, Jason mentioned something. I'm gonna take it to science fiction. Riders of the Purple Wage. Philip Jose Farmer. A novel, a fairly short novel about that getting on the government dole and everyone being on the government dole, the whole world. So I just try to throw a little bit of my expertise in there. Read that; it's a good story.
What did you say it was called? Riders of the Purple
Wage by Philip Jose Farmer.
I'm going to have to put that on my list.
Yeah, so you got to remember that Farmer's a little bit of a pervert, though. So just remember, likes to put he puts some sexual stuff in.
Well, they all were.
Well, Farmer a little more than most.
Considering what I've been covering lately, I mean, it's not going to be.
Oh no, it'll be fine for you, Madman.
So is he at the same level as Walter Breen type, or was it? Oh,
Walter.
Okay. You don't know who Walter Breen was?
No.
It would take too long.
He's the most sexually explicit science fiction author I've read. Farmer.
Okay.
Walter
Breen.
I'm mentioning it. It's not that bad. I mean, like I read it as a teenager. I read him as a teenager. I wasn't,
Well, I'll say
there's a little bit of this
part. Walter Breen died in prison. He was married to Marion Zimmer Bradley, and they both.
Oh, him. Okay, I'm not talking about his personal life.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about his personal life. I'm saying Farmer, not his personal life. I don't know about his personal life. I'm talking about his writing.
Yeah,
I don't know what his personal.
You don't want to know about his.
Sorry, Green. Yeah, you mentioned Zimmer Bradley. Yes, I know he was.
He was her husband.
There's something wrong with him, but
there's something wrong with a lot of them because they all defended him.
I mean Farmer's writing is a bit more sexual than science fiction normally is.
Heinlein could do it some. He did.
I know he's a little bit. He's a little bit further on. Like Friday is Heinlein's novel is a bit. He's a little bit more explicit, I would say, than Heinlein.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know anything about his personal life. I know Heinlein was a swinger and polyamorous and that sort of thing. I don't know that Farmer was any of that, but I'm just saying in his writing, he tends to put a little bit of sexuality in there, and
I don't know.
Here's a little breaking news. El Salvadorian president has just slammed the MSNBC network for their coverage over Charlie Kirk.
Good.
Did you see the where'd it go?
Did you see what was going on in Nepal?
Starmer, Ken Starmer, UK Prime Minister, said something.
Nepal is ugly.
Said, he's the usual blah blah blah.
Somebody's posted here. My friend just texted, "This is Archduke Ferdinand bad, and I can't stop thinking about it." I don't know that it's Archduke Ferdinand bad, but it's high profile enough that it could start something.
I don't know. Trump's assassination didn't do anything really. So, I mean,
when's their next convention for this organization?
Who?
The Charlie Kirk's the group.
Turning Point.
Turning Point. When's their next convention?
I don't know.
They have one every year. I think it's in May.
Yeah, but they always have something close to an election time, also.
Yeah.
But they have a conference every year.
Yeah.
But,
the The site is down. Turning Point USA site currently undergoing scheduled maintenance.
Oh, really? They recently put up a little thing there, but maybe they crashed after that.
Well, they put up a statement on socials, but the
Oh, was
website
it
is
on
down.
socials? Oh,
Yeah. I wonder what that's about.
that could just be from people, over too many people trying to get on there and find out about them and stuff because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good possibility. That
They
basically
probably
they
have tons of Kirk's, videos. People are, going there to watch them, that kind of stuff. Maybe.
I mean, you can't.
It's not necessarily something nefarious, but
You can't
Well,
get
that's
on
true.
YouTube. You can't get on TikTok. You can't get on any other system that has like those shorts and not get a Charlie Kirk video.
Yeah.
It's anytime I'm on there, like when I'm watching the shorts on YouTube, it's like I get 5 or 6 in a row of Charlie Kirk, which is surprisingly. Go to Facebook, I get the same thing.
not Ferdinand bad. I mean, I don't know. I'm not willing to say. I'm just curious to see where it
takes
goes.
that one spark. It takes that
Yeah,
one moment in history.
You're right.
Remember, most people don't realize, and because they say, back when the Revolutionary War started, it took that shooting that basically just sparked it up. And most people think it's this. There was like 2 of them. It was originally the first. That what was it? What do they call it? Something kids. That child that was murdered. That he was shot by accident. On there, and that's what sparked it.
You don't even have to go back that far. I mean, just go in our lifetimes.
I know.
The fall of the Soviet Union. I mean, I remember when the Berlin Wall fell.
I do too.
I mean, it was like one day. It's like, I mean, 8
day was
months
there, one
before
day
the
wasn't.
Berlin Wall fell, there was a guy who tried to escape over it in a kite or something like that, and he was shot. So a young, East German, 20-something, and he's the last guy to die. And then all of a sudden, 8 months later, people are just like, oh, the wall, and they're hitting the wall with hammers, and they just, students are tearing down the wall, and that's it. Boom. It's done.
And what did they do? The people that were locked inside that wall ran to West Berlin. They went as soon as they could, first opportunity they could, went to a place where they could enjoy more freedom than they'd had under the Soviet Union. They didn't run to East Berlin. They didn't run to East Germany. Nobody's trying to go to Moscow. They're trying to get out of those places. They're trying to get out of Cuba. They're trying to get out of all of these places where socialism, communism is supposed to work, but nobody's done it. Nobody's done it the right way yet. We have had failure after failure after failure after failure as an example of how Marxist theory, communist theory does not work. We even tried it here. The Jamestown colony in Virginia back in the 1600s, they tried communism first and it failed. They almost all died, starved to death. It doesn't work. You can't point to any communist system at all, ever, anywhere in the history of ever and say, that's how it's supposed to be done. There is no communist success. There's no Marxist success. Marx himself was a failure throughout his entire life. He didn't accomplish anything. He couldn't keep a job. He barely kept his marriage. His father didn't respect him. All of his colleagues, all of his associates. He was a bum, and he came up with this economic theory based on envy and jealousy. I don't get anything, so I should take it from somebody else. That's the basis of his entire economic theory.
Didn't he recant at the end?
Marx?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that he did.
Yeah.
As like toward the end of his life, he realized he was wrong and tried to recant.
It would be nice, but I don't think that happened. I don't know. You could be right. It's possible, but I've never read that.
My only point about this, by bringing up the Berlin Wall in Germany, it's just that, you see these things and they look nice and solid on the outside, and then boom, one crack, and then it just falls apart, hollow inside. And I'm kind of suggesting that that's what we're looking at now. You're like, oh, everything's just, things, keep going, and it just all of a sudden there's going to be a crack, and then, and I think that's how these things normally happen. And I think Nepal is an example. We didn't know anything's going on in Nepal. Next thing, they're burning down their parliament.
Yeah. And there's riots going on in France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, and to your
France
point,
has been France has been going for years.
France has been going on for a long time. But
and the French are weird with their their fifth republic, wherever they're on. They always seem to have to have a revolution in order to change governments or something.
But they try to piss off Luxembourg over there. Says you're going to do what we tell you to do as far as the internet. And Luxembourg was like, really?
Yeah. Well, you see, Poland, the guys in Poland are burning the EU flag now, right? I think Poland's going to leave the EU. I think they're going to be the first ones, and I think Italy's going to be right there behind them.
France have been talking about leaving the EU.
I think the EU collapses.
That's one of the things that these protesters and this this woman who was, we've overthrown came out and said we're overthrowing the French government and we're going to take over the government and we want to leave the EU. I think France might be first.
I think the EU. No, I think Poland will be first. They've been the strongest, most vocal. Poland will go first, and I think Italy will follow. France will take a while because Macron is World Economic Forum, and he'll fight it tooth and nail. And I think within this administration, within this term for Trump, in this next 3 years, I think the EU collapses.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think the EU collapses. But to your point about the cracks in the walls, this reminds me when the Soviet Union fell, and we started normalizing relations with what was left of Russia and all of these different things. It came out. Actually, it came out during World War II. It came out about World War II. We were about to win. We had gotten the Japanese to the point where they were about to collapse, and then we hit them with the bombs, and it was all over. Soviet Union was the same thing. We got them spending so much on low quality nuclear technology, weapons technology that actually didn't work, but we had them spent. And by the time the Soviet Union collapses economically and we go in there and we realize they've got all these nuclear bombs and weapons and rockets and stuff, but none of it works.
Well, no, it was Reagan and Thatcher.
Yeah.
They got together and they said, hey, this thing's on the brink. We can collapse this. All we need to do is get rid of them, collapse them economically. And that's where Star Wars is.
And that's what they did. And then now you have
Reagan started Star Wars. It would have required billions and billions of dollars for the Soviets to upgrade their radar system. And they just said, there's no way we can do this. And then they bring in the reformer Gorbachev to negotiate with the Americans in 1985 because we cannot afford. I mean, the Russians were spending 30% of their GDP on their military, and America at the time has been pretty steady, 5%, even with Star Wars and all this stuff, and they just couldn't afford it.
Well, and now recently with the whole USAID money, with all of that collapsing, now we're finding out all of these, non-government organizations, all these NGOs, all these Democrat-run party, political action committees, all of these people that were getting government money are the ones that were agitated. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all of these stuff, through various different grants and loans and whatever. The government was funding organizations calling for the downfall of the government. The irony of that is once that money was gone, Soros money gone, USAID money gone, they don't have any way of organizing these massive, summer of love protests like we saw after George Floyd got killed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now they're getting more strategic. It doesn't have to be 6,000 people burning down Milwaukee if you've got one guy with a rifle who can take out strategic targets.
They can't afford mass protests, so it's just going to go to lone assassins. Is that what you're
pretty
saying?
much? I think so, and I think that's the strategy now.
I think PB. I think you make a good point there about Germany is the economic power. Minor, I think France is Germany and France. Germany and France basically run the EU, and I'd
Yeah.
say without, I mean Germany more so, but without Germany, I think you're probably right. Without Germany and France, definitely the EU collapses. And I would say that if France were to pull out, it would be, it might collapse as well. But
Well, I reported France and the EU are at odds with online safety bills. They have opposing safety bills that literally just conflict each other. And I said on my show, I said, I think this is what would be their cause to collapse the safety bills within Europe, because basically they just are not agreeing with each other. If you don't agree with each other, then you can't have a bill. You can't run it, or you just run it alone as your own government. That means you don't trust the EU, and then you separate yourself from the EU.
Yeah.
If you want to see a good fun movie about the fall of the Berlin Wall, it's called Goodbye Lenin. Watch it. It's a bit of a comedy. I don't know how historically accurate it is, but I mean it's fairly, but it's a good little fun little foreign film romp. Goodbye Lenin. You can find it somewhere. It's from the side of an East German family. Right before the wall collapses, and the mother, they don't have a father. The mother is the matriarch. She is she sees her. She's a big believer in the communism. She sees her son protesting right before the fall of the Berlin Wall, and she collapses and she goes into a coma, and she wakes up from the coma 8 months later, and of course everything has changed, and she can't. So the story revolves around them dealing with that, and how to deal with her mother, who's a big believer, and of course now everything's changed, and communism has failed, and they're like, the doctor tells them, don't give her any shocks to her system because she could die, and they look at him and they go, she's been in a coma for 8 months. Look around you. And the
Everything's
like,
a shot.
Yeah, the doctor's like, what am I gonna
I remember when Germany announced that they were going to reunify. It took a minute to process, because I'd grown up with the Cold War. I've grown up with the big bad Soviet Union that was going to destroy us with nuclear bombs, and Berlin was divided, and you had East Germany and West Germany. And I even took German in high school, and we learned all about the division of the two countries and whatnot. And now suddenly there's one Germany again, and it took me a little while to wrap my head around that. I was like, this is kind of a massive thing. And now that I'm older, I see all of these different little massive things that, if aren't quite as massive as they otherwise probably should be, because we have so many different things that are shifting the paradigm and shifting the narrative so quickly and so massively. I mean, you look at what happened down with Malay down in, where it was, the Argentina. Is it Argentina or Brazil? Where's Malay? Argentina.
Is that
Argentina? I think.
Yeah.
Argentina, yeah. And he sits there, he runs for office with a chainsaw, and he starts making cuts and turns his economy around in a matter of months. Who does that? How do you do that? Now, they're trying to hit him with a bunch of scandals now. I've seen some different mentions of headlines, but I haven't looked into it. But it's one of those things where, like, every time you turn around, that's one of the reasons I make the joke. My bingo card to this year and last year too. My bingo card is one square and it says, "But of course," because that's where we're at. Oh, but of course this happened. Right.
Is the German economy really that strong? I know it's the strongest in the EU, but I didn't.
I don't think
saying
it is.
Here that it outproduces almost the rest of Europe combined. I didn't think that was because Italy and France are still part of the G8 or G7. Like they've got fairly strong economies.
I don't think that Germany's economy. Well, Trump
it is the strongest in Europe. I'm just. I don't know that it's that's like.
I don't think it is,
almost
because
the rest combined.
You remember what Trump said when he was getting on to them about buying their natural gas from Russia. and telling them, you guys can't afford to screw this up. Your economy is not that strong. I think there were indicators back then during his first term that Germany didn't have a great economy. It might be stronger than everything else in Europe, but we had conversations. There were people talking about the German economy when Brexit happened. When the UK left the EU, everybody was like, well, now what? Well, we still got Germany at least.
Yeah, but didn't they drop tons of cash on freaking solar panels and all that? And this is where they're at now. That basically they had rolling blackouts and they had to buy energy from the Russians and the French.
So I'm looking here.
Think.
So it puts Germany. Let's go with, I don't know. We want to go with 2025 or 2024. Germany is first in Europe, third in the world, of course. United Kingdom second in Europe, sixth in the world. France seventh in the world. Italy eighth in the world. So let's go for 2024. Germany 4.6. What was that? $1 trillion. UK 3.6. France 3.1. Italy 2.3. Russia 2.1.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the reason why they went off coal. As PB is saying, for some reason, 2019 they went off coal, and then they went on to Russian gas. But that was because they went solar panels heavily.
Oh yeah, they shut down their nuclear plant.
They shut down nuclear, and they shut down everything else, and they went completely 100% solar panels, and they found out it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks to me that, I mean, the German economy is the strongest for sure, but it's not, if you put France, Italy, the UK there, France and what did I say? France and Italy combined almost make the German.
And then meanwhile in Australia, Julie Iman, they're pushing for a bigger investigation on her.
On who?
Julie Iman, the commissioner of the online safety bill.
Ah.
Oh, look who's back.
Hey, look at that. I'm like a bad penny. Yep, I got the guys on the radio talking about it now.
Yeah. But Julie Iman is the one that's been pushing. She's ex-American, went to live in Australia. She's been pushing this bill. She's worked with Collective Shout. She's worked with GARM. She's worked with all this, situation. They're investigating her. The first investigation is her into possibly with GARM that they may have interfered in the Trump election.
Yeah.
No, but that didn't happen.
We were talking about that on Culture Casino's channel over the weekend.
Yeah, the one the member stream I didn't make.
Yeah, the one that you read at the end.
France at 3.1 and Italy at 2.3. Together, that's 5.4 versus Germany 4.6. So France and Italy together outpaced Germany, but it's still the most powerful powerhouse. And if you don't include the UK as part of the EU,
well, there's a lot of people, a lot of Germans flying the German flag too.
Yeah, where do we get to a point in history that
energy
we're going against our own country's flags, whether it's the U.S., whether it's the U.K. I mean,
well, the UK is already there.
Yeah, UK's there. Well,
they tried doing it to us here too. Remember? Oh, you flag waving, blah blah blah, right wing extremists, blah blah blah. Yeah,
but it didn't stick.
How could waving your own flag be extreme?
No, it didn't stick. It didn't stick. But clearly in the UK, it is. But the people are revolting against it.
It's pretty funny. Canada was like that too. Like during 2022 when the convoy was happening. There was all Canadian flags, and it sort of became this whole that same sort of thing. And then, of course, after the Carney election and Trump, it became elbows up, and everyone's waving Canadian flags again. All the left is so it's kind of funny.
And everybody on the right took their flags down and hid them in shame. Yeah, I just flew my flag upside down during the Obama administration and the Biden administration. Yeah, no, that's not a sign of
What-
disrespect. That's a
wait,
sign of
Well,
distress.
no. That's what
No,
was
it
that
is.
Big Bang Theory?
Absolutely.
It's a sign of that there is a crisis going on.
It's a
Yeah.
sign of distress. It's
Yeah.
flag code,
Yeah.
international flag code. Actually, if your ship is in trouble, you fly your flag upside down. Yeah, that's universally understood.
Unknown to Greta Thunberg.
Right.
Man, I tell you, the way that story collapsed in on itself was
it's hilarious.
hilarious to watch. It was so satisfying to see all of that fall apart the way it did.
Yeah.
You know,
These people are idiots. They assume they're smarter than they are. And they think that they can get away with a lot of things because they have before, because the media was complicit.
I can't believe the captain of the boat didn't try and throw them overboard for that stunt.
As I read it, it was one of the crew that did it, that fired the flare.
You don't.
yeah, but
Yeah.
who threw the cigarette in the life jackets?
No. It was somebody fired a flare and it blew back
Right.
onto the boat.
Yeah,
and
that's
caught
the
boat
second.
fire.
That was the
That's the
second
second
time.
event. There was a
The
first
one
event.
before.
Yeah.
Oh,
When-
I see. I didn't read about the cigarette. And
Yeah, you didn't hear
Okay.
about that because they didn't
No.
want you to hear about that.
I didn't hear about that one. I heard about the flare.
Yeah, no, there was one. Literally, the life jackets were the first event. That literally they say, "Oh, we've been bombed," and they said, "No,
Mhm.
it's basically on that." Then later on, it's like someone threw the flare gun, and it's like, Jesus.
Why would you? Playing with fire on a boat's dangerous because you ain't got nowhere to go except the water.
You know,
Oh, hang on. Cash said this was 30 minutes ago. Cash said the subject in custody has been released after interrogation by law enforcement. Our investigation continues. We'll continue to release information in the interest of transparency.
Yeah,
So they
Cam.
don't have the guy.
Can't
Oh,
put that
the New York
up, too.
Post was wrong.
How do you? I've never been in Restream.
So they grabbed
not running it.
grabbed the
How do you
wrong
get the
guy.
chat? How do I get in the chat?
Oh, is that what this is that Jeff
You got to
posted?
go outside
Outside.
and watch it.
I can't put
open
in
up.
from the chat on my own. Oh.
So they
You
don't
need
have-
more monitors, snob.
No, this is not a monitor thing. I mean, I have two monitors, but
I think.
I
Yeah, I
can't.
think.
I
Two is
gotta open
not
it up separately. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
Two
you got
is
to
not
open it
enough.
separately.
Really? That's what you guys do in order to.
Yeah, I have this. I like the
It's a
whole
pain in
time
the
I was
ass.
doing the radio thing. I had the stream on here, but I had it muted. I still have it muted. See?
No, but I can't put anything in the chat just on this. I got to open up another window and
This is my
the
first.
chat.
This is my first restream live stream. So
Yeah,
I mean, I like it. I like
yours need to
Restream.
look like mine. You need to look like you need this.
yeah, I know I'm building it up.
This is
I have the equipment. I just have to build it up.
How many
did-
monitors do you have hooked up to one PC though?
me.
Yeah, you.
I have
Um,
I have a laptop and one computer with one monitor on there, but I have two more monitors off to the side that haven't hooked up yet.
See, I have 4 monitors hooked up to this computer right here
so I've got
Jeez.
7
on one computer.
on one computer. So okay. So this one right here, this little one over here, this is a laptop that's by itself,
Right.
and then I have 6 that are tied into the PC, and this middle one here is split. The signal going to this one also goes to one over there because we were using that as a show monitor for Mindy to see what we were on the air over there. So I have 7, but
Six.
two of them show the same thing.
Okay. Do you have 2 video cards in there?
No, that's just one video card.
You have
It's maxed out. It's full. It's got 6
You have
slots.
6 ports on one
I
video
have
card?
6 ports. Yes. That's special.
Damn.
What kind of video card is that? That must
It's
be,
I think mine only has 4.
it's a GeoForce,
GeForce?
GeForce, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
I have a
first.
5070. I'm on.
Yeah, I got a 5070 as well.
I
A
can't
couple
remember
months
what
ago.
mine is.
Mine is. I don't even know.
And
where
it wasn't cheap either.
is it?
Oh, Jesus.
No,
Mine was
mine
pretty
wasn't
good.
cheap, but it wasn't expensive. I'm not gonna pay $500 for a video card. and I'm not going to pay more
Well,
than that.
unfortunately,
For
that's
sure.
most average video cards are about that price point these days.
Yeah, 400.
400 is about the lowest you can go at the moment,
Yeah.
and at 1200, I think was the highest.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
you can- I mean,
spending.
you can
No,
go
you can
more-
spend more than 1,200.
You can spell $6,000. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, you can spend
yeah.
up to $6,000, but I'm talking about the average
yeah.
consumer, not.
Um,
And the thing is, I have a board here from because I use DaVinci Resolve. I have a Blackmagic board here, and I still haven't used it yet on a switcher.
let's see. What is video?
Like I said, slowly building this office up, and plus the outside too, because I'm going to use hook up eventually cameras into the living room area.
I have a GTX 1660 Ti.
I can't find. Oh, wait a minute. This PC.
I don't know if I've got more ports.
I have. Oh, I do not have a GeForce. I have an AMD Radeon HD 7700.
Radeon.
No.
Radeon
Is that the
Radeon? Yeah, Radion's all right.
It's all right.
Is that the graphic? Is that the no? That's not the graphics card.
It could be your. It could be your onboard
That's
though.
the onboard.
That's
the
on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
So,
people don't even do the Radeon unless you
Where's-
you want to go. You want to
Well,
go
unless you-
with
wait.
basic.
Well, I mean,
where do I find the other one then?
Normally, you can click on what is it? If you go into your computer, hang on.
Windows I.
System. If you go into system,
Yeah.
you should be able to pull up what you have.
Yeah, Windows 11 is weird.
I'm not in Windows 11. I'm in 10 still.
Yeah,
Ooh, how's it still working?
probably better than 11.
Right.
Because 11 is crap. I know.
Well, 10,
Oh.
10 killed my system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about buying another 1660 and putting it in the other port.
Oh, by the way, I have you three here. Your thoughts? Demon Slayer is releasing in. Actually, the preview showing was yesterday, and Friday would be the premiere.
Is that the? Is
The
that
anime
one that they're-
movie.
Oh,
That's
I
already
saw
scored.
I saw the preview for it. I think during Superman.
Yeah,
on
but it's
one
already-
at one of the theaters.
Yeah, it scored over 300 million overseas.
Good. Good. I mean, I'm not an anime,
Actually,
person,
it's
but-
not a bad movie. The
but it
series
didn't
is
look
excellent.
bad.
The series is excellent.
I'm not much into the anime stuff, so I wouldn't know.
No, from a box office point of view,
I mean,
Yeah,
if it's
I-
already done 300 million,
300 million overseas, 200 of it in just Japan alone.
it'll
Wow.
probably do another
They're talking
200 or
This is
more
a movie
here.
based on the.
No. What they did was the Interpol, which is the production house that does the Demon Slayers TV series, decided
Yeah.
to end the series with a trilogy of movies.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So this is part one of 3 parts. The next one I think is another year or 2 away. Now, supposedly this movie cost I think 84 million to make, plus advertisement. Figured 100,000. It cost them $100 million. Figure with advertisements and all that. Because today the advertisements were through the roof. Every time I flipped over something, what was on there? Demon Slayer. I think that's gonna be considering what was last week?
Oh, you're talking about K-pop Demon Slayer?
No, not K-pop. The Netflix made the biggest mistake of taking K-pop out of the movie theaters and bringing it to Netflix onto there. They should have let it go for another couple more weeks. With Demon Slayer coming in, they could have banked on the numbers off of Demon Slayer. I mean, right now, what is it? The Conjuring is number 1 in the box office.
Yeah.
on there. I mean, what do you got? Horror films are right now top notch. There's a movie coming out next year about a from a dog's point of view in a horror movie
Yeah,
called
Good
Good
Boy.
Boy, and it blew up on the internet. And the distributors have decided that they're going to extend the theatrical release on it.
Well, they're making a new Amityville Horror at, I want to say, Amazon series.
I thought it was the Conjuring series that they're doing.
They're doing both.
Oh, they're doing both. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think it's Amazon that's doing Amityville. There's no reason to, but why not?
Yeah, why not? Oh,
I
and
can't
just
find
noticed.
it. I'd have to look.
I just
Gentlemen, I'm
noticed-
gonna dip out. I gotta prep for tonight's.
Oh
make sure
yes.
I'm good to go for
Yeah.
tonight.
Would you like to give your announcement of
I
your
gotta
show
have dinner and
tonight?
everything. Well,
Oh well,
Yeah, they
don't
just
be
shadow
modest.
both do a good job, but yeah. Tonight we have our next iteration of the Babylon 5 retrospective. We're looking at season 2, episode 13, Hunter Prey, and we do this every week. We're going through Babylon 5 from season 1 to season 5.
I don't think
if
it'll let me
anybody knew-
post it.
well, we're doing it season by season. We'll see how after season 2 goes. We'll see. Yeah, I'll get on and I'll post it on Twitter right after this. Yeah, come and watch us. It's myself, Cam, Jason, and Death Angel Shadow. We talk about the show, watch the show, and then discuss it.
I hear
we
there's
get-
Vorlons in this episode.
There are, and we have a special
At least
guest
one.
panelist tonight as well. So
Oh,
we
is
got an extra person.
the one I talked to?
Dean?
that
Yes,
reached-
Dean.
Yeah.
Dean is
Awesome.
coming on, and we offer to the viewers if they want to. If you want to come on, if you're a viewer of the show and you want to come on and be a guest panelist on a specific episode, let us know. We discussed. It's a pretty good discussion, I think. A bunch of them, all the other ones are on my channel if you want to go back and look at them as well.
I dropped the thing I usually. There you go. Well, okay.
You dropped it in the
Yeah.
private chat.
You dropped it in the private chat.
I can't drop it on the regular. I'm not a mod for you.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry. Hang on.
I'll drop it into. Oh, actually, you know what? I might not be able to drop it into YouTube either.
Let me take
Oh,
care
there you
of that
go.
right
You
now.
dropped it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. See you, gentlemen, tonight.
All right.
Yeah,
All righty.
probably.
Good night.
Thanks.
I don't know if it worked or
Thank
not.
you for showing up.
No problem. My pleasure.
Anyway, just look for Sci-Fi Snob.
Yeah, I already got. Mention something in the chat so at least I can put you as a moderator.
Well,
I can't find you. Can't find you
here.
anywhere.
Here.
There we go. That's the only thing I don't have on my account is moderators. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, you know what I was watching the other day, Jason? And I totally forgot about this sci-fi series. 7 Days.
You know, I never saw that one.
There we go.
I've heard of it.
It was really good. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, the last season, it kind of fell apart, but that's because there was a lot of problems from within. And plus,
That's
they were
usually how
shifting.
it goes.
Plus, they were shifting the show all over the place. I mean, this was I think, was it during the time of Voyager or Deep Space Nine? I'm trying to remember on that because they were shifting it around with that because it was on the independent stations.
On UPN or at post
UPN. It was a UPN show.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole premise was that they built a time machine from a UFO. That they, the Roswell UFO, they were able to the drive that was built into it was a sort of like almost like a time machine. It was a time drive, and basically they were able to put it together, but it only allows them to go back 7 days. And
Okay.
the whole premise was that they basically try to find a pilot for it to basically right the wrong on there. The total first episode is, well, actually the first 2 episodes are off the hook.
What was the series called?
7 Days.
I remember that show.
Yeah. The first episode, they killed the president, the vice president, and the president of Russia. They bombed the White House.
Yeah.
And they ended up killing a lot school, poisoning a school off to the side and everything. I mean, it went all to hell onto
Yeah,
there,
I
and
remember.
basically
I
the
remember
guy had to
watching.
go back 7 days to stop this from happening, from these separate Russian separatists from bombing the White House.
Yeah, and trying to start World War III, basically.
No, basically everything collapsed. It was like U.S. was collapsing, the Russian government was collapsing
Yeah.
because they were running a peace treaty at that point, because the Russians were there, to do a peace treaty. Second episode, this guy goes off and throws out a plague that wipes out most of the planet. And basically you have to go back, and that's the funny part. The guy has to, he keeps going back 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. That's all. That's all he does is time travel, and everything is new to him. From everything he said, nobody remembers.
I remember Justina
I
Evans,
vaguely remember this show, but I never watched it.
Jonathan Paglia. Yeah.
Because his brother is Anthony LaPaglia, who took over on Murder One.
Right.
And I was just watching it the other day. I wanted to mention to you the last time I see you, and I was like, "Oh, I got to mention this to him," because I see it on. They only have the DVD version. They haven't done a Blu-ray on that.
It made 3 seasons.
I'll have to find this.
It kind of fell up. It kind of fell apart because one of the characters, he died of, I think, cancer. Halfway through, so they had to replace him with another character.
Yeah, that
another
hurts the show.
character. And then I forgot what her name was. The Russian girl, which was like the main love interest, she had a lot of issues behind the scenes, and she left the show.
I've seen her in other stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good show. I mean, it was.
She was in Conan the Adventurer.
I think she was.
Jerry Maguire.
PB
Really?
Channel 9. Yeah, he was on Channel 9. You must be on the East Coast then. PB.
Channel 9.
Channel
9 in
Channel 9 is
Chicago.
WWOR here in New York.
Yeah.
WPIX would be 11.
Another one you guys should check out if you haven't already is Primeval. It was a BBC show.
Which Primeval?
Which
one?
The original.
Because there's a Canadian version too.
Yeah,
it's
BBC version.
But the Canadian version is not. It's not a reboot.
It's a sequel, isn't it?
It's related.
Kind of?
Yeah.
It's in that universe.
Yeah.
And the original, I still can't get Mindy to sit and watch it, but the original version of Survivors. Also coming out of BBC. That's a fantastic show, and Mindy couldn't get past. I think we got 3 or 4 episodes in, and it was too much because it's a pandemic, and we had just actually gone through that, and so she wasn't up for it. I'm hoping at some point to sit and get her to watch it because it's a really good show. But they did a remake of it here a few years ago that I don't think went over that well. But the original,
my wife watches that.
That one went for 3 years, I think. I'd have to go back and look. It's a really good show.
Yeah, it was Primeval and Primeval New World. New World was the other one.
Yeah.
As I recall, there was somebody that was on their team was actually kind of against them and was trying to set them up for something or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was a good show.
Thank you, PB. I couldn't remember. It's like the code name of the guy in 7 days was Conundrum. So every time he went back in time, he had to dial into the base.
Conundrum.
And, goes,
and the
girl would be so excited. Oh my God, it's Conundrum.
Something happened.
Something must have happened because it's like nobody knows. Like the first episode, they kept trying the ship, and the time knots, they just kept dying all of that. And then they finally find the right guy to do it. And the girl's sitting there and says, "Oh my God, it's Conundrum." Just in every episode, it's like you wait for her to say that to that point.
What was the other one that was based here in the States, where they would go back and they had the ship, and they would go back, but they could go back not just 7 days. They went back like to the
Time Track. You talking about Time Tracks?
No, it was an NBC show.
Yeah, it was NBC,
and because it got saved.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I call it the rip off of 7 days. because it was like the similar type of machine. It was like a spear type
Timeless.
machine.
Timeless.
Yeah,
Timeless.
timeless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they tried to find period dress type clothing and stuff like that. So they had like a whole wardrobe thing.
Yeah.
Which is probably just the real wardrobe department.
Then another one that and it had it only one season, and they could have done a lot with this. And it was on CBS. It was Threshold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, that's Brent Spiner, Peter Dinklage, Charles Dutton. It was literally I think it was one of the most intelligent science fiction series on TV. Basically because of how they thought what an invasion would be like in this. The whole basis of it was that basically it was this woman who created plans for everything, including a UFO invasion. And what it was is that these aliens came down and unleashed some sort of DNA restructuring device. And basically they were trying to take over the planet by turning people into themselves, into the aliens.
Yep. Carla Gugino was in that show too.
Yeah. I mean, it only went one season, but I tell you, the first couple of episodes were really good.
Yeah, they were.
And it's just a shame that it dropped off the way. But that thing is, it was lost. It was lost in the lineup. CBS didn't know what to do with it.
Well, another one that died a quick death before it should have was Alphas on Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh,
brilliant show, absolutely brilliant show.
Yes, I mean even Big Bang Theory made fun of that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for the next season's Alphas. Oh no, they canceled that. No.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of shows lasted not long enough over there. Well, you had Alphas got canceled. Eureka got canceled because it got too expensive because it was too popular.
And that was another one that was good.
Warehouse 13.
Warehouse 13, yeah. But those are the same universe.
Kinda.
They did a crossover.
I know, but it's
come on. Crossover sticks them in the same universe.
But there was that, and then you had Dark Matter, which was another one that died too soon.
Different dark matter than the one that's out now, right?
Yeah, it was
completely different concept.
The dark matter that was in, you had a ship, you had a group of people wake up from
and they had
animation.
No memories,
at all, and it turns out that they're all prisoners, they're all criminals, and this ship is their prison. And they end up, I think they end up hijacking the ship and deciding, well, we're just going to chart our own course. And that was very short-lived. The Amanda Tapping one, that was, oh crap, what was it?
That was kind of,
that was one of the first ones that did green screen. Virtual sets.
It was all virtual, and it was just so CGI fake.
But it was innovative.
Yeah.
Because that was back when everybody was talking about how web series were going to be the next thing, right? Transmedia and all that, because we had Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome, and there was another Battlestar Galactica short series. It was all web series. It's just nobody was ready for it yet because nobody knew what to do with it in terms of...
She was basically...
streaming before it was streaming.
She was kind of like what's his name that hunts vampires? Well, I suppose you could say Buffy, but she was kind of that kind of like a Constantine.
Sanctuary.
Buffy.
Sanctuary,
that's it.
Yeah, she played Dr. Helen Magnus. We actually interviewed her and Robin Dunn, who played Dr. Will Zimmerman. We interviewed them about Sanctuary when it first came out.
That's cool.
Up in New York, I had a guy that was up there and was like, hey, you want to go over here to this Sanctuary press event? He's like, sure. So that's over on our
Major Carter.
It's on our, yeah, that's right.
Then there was Jericho.
Jericho was cool. I liked Jericho. I did not like the dome. I thought the dome was dumb.
No, I didn't like the dome either. Then there was Jeremiah.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I don't know if you saw that one. One with
you know what
Perry.
I still want them to redo. I still think the one show that could have had so much potential that got cut off way too soon was Voyagers.
Oh yeah,
I
with
would,
John Eric Hexum and
yeah.
Mino Pelus.
I think they could easily reboot it, and it died because like the lead actor died, right? Didn't he?
No, the show got canceled. He went on to another show called, I want to say it was called Masquerade. I'd have to look it up real quick. It was a spy show, and
It only lasted one season. Let me see.
he was on.
Yeah, John Eric Hexum.
Yeah, and the show he was on was Cover Up, and it was him and I want to say Jill St. John. No, it was Jennifer O'Neill. So they were. She's a photographer. He's ex special forces, and he's undercover as her model, and they travel around doing a bunch of spy stuff, investigative stuff.
Yeah.
And he's jacking around on set, playing around. He's got one of the prop firearms, and stupid as a stupid does, he puts it up to his head because it shoots blanks, right? Nothing.
Yeah, but there's still gases that have to.
Yeah.
He pulls the trigger, and the wad releases, and it
Right in the temple.
right in the temple, and he never woke up.
Yeah, it probably. I mean,
what happened with Brandon Lee? A wad hit him.
Yeah, only that was an accident. That wasn't him being stupid.
No, it was an accident.
Yeah,
so
John Eric Hexum did something so irresponsible.
But he did die though at some point. Yeah. So this was he did go on. Let's see what following the death of the Universal re-edited several episodes into a film.
So because Voyagers was it got 20 episodes, and then you had Cover Up was the year after that in '84, but you have the movie Voyager from the Unknown, which was the pilot, kind of a backdoor pilot to see how it did, and then they launched the TV show. But yeah, you could do a reboot of Voyagers.
There was only once. It was 20 episodes.
Yeah,
and so the story of what happened, why they canceled it, it was going to be renewed, and then some bean counters somewhere said basically that they thought 60 Minutes might be vulnerable to compete against, and they launched a news program instead to replace it.
Yeah.
What was the news program?
It was
Monitor. Some news program called Monitor replaced it.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, I remember when that.
How long did that last?
It didn't last very long at all.
It only averaged a 7 share. News Monitor
lasted longer than Pat Sajak.
I don't know how long that one ran. I think it ended up getting replaced by Dateline.
Nielsen ranked at 95.
Boy, that's not very good.
What's a Nielsen ranking? What's standard for those? You guys are more in the
well.
It depends what year you're in.
Yeah, Nielsen. You had the ratings. Well, the ranking and the ratings are a completely different thing.
It's a rank. It's the rank, not the rating.
Rank 95. That's not very good.
So that's 95th.
Probably 95 out of 100.
Is it really just the top 100?
I think so.
I loved that show. I thought it was great. Of course, I was prime age for that too when it came out.
Voyagers or Monitor?
Voyagers, not Monitor.
Yeah.
I would have been like, "What's this crap?" Although it wasn't too many years after that I started watching things like Nightline.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on a spending spree for DVD Blu-rays lately.
I hadn't even moved to Florida when that show came on.
Yeah. I need to update my library a little bit. I've still got some stuff that I got to fill in some gaps.
Yeah, I just got They Lived on Steelbook, and I got the Lord of the Rings 4K trilogy today.
Nice.
And then I got the Batman: The Dark Knight animated and the Long Halloween, but special edition, where it's not 2 disc, it's 1 disc, and it's done as a movie.
You know, I watched that when it came out. Warner Brothers sent me a copy of that, and I was not impressed. It's okay, but it's not the book.
Which one? Halloween?
Long Halloween. Yeah, they changed a good number of things in the Long Halloween animated show, the adaptation from the book, and it just doesn't work. And some of the animation's clunky, some of the casting is a little off. But I mean, I know I get what they're trying to do with the animation because they wanted to look like the book, and the book
Mhm.
has got a very distinct art style.
Mhm.
And I think it's Jim Lee doing the art on that one. What? Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff Loeb wrote it, and Jim Lee did the art.
Mhm.
And it's an excellent book, but the animated adaptation leaves a little to be desired. It's not great. If you want a good animated Batman, besides Mask of the Phantasm, I would recommend The Doom That Came to Gotham.
Oh yes, that's
It is
next
an
on my list.
excellent
Yeah.
piece, and it's an Elseworlds. It's basically Cthulhu Batman.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
a
I've seen it.
it's a
Yeah,
Lovecraftian Batman story set in the late 1800s, and it is a fantastic story.
I liked it. I really liked it. I saw it on streaming when it first came out, and I was like, I got to get this for my collection. I just haven't. It's you know what it is. Some of these titles are harder and harder to get. I
Yeah.
just I just found Gods and Monsters Justice League finally.
Wow.
I've been looking for it. People have been charging $50 to $100 for it.
So they traded out. It was a 17 share, and they traded it out for a show, a news program that only got a 7 share.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
No,
That
it's
was
awful.
dumb.
Especially back in those days.
In 1982, 83,
Yeah, 82,
yeah.
83, you only had 3 networks. You know, they didn't have their Fox.
There was no Fox.
wasn't a network yet. And yeah, usually a 17 share was not fantastic.
But you're up against 60 Minutes.
You're up against 60 Minutes. What was 60 Minutes share at that time? Probably a 25 or something.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, 17 is pretty respectable on Sunday night. Now, it's not it would kill your show on Thursday night prime time, you know, because that was back in the day of, you know, must see TV on NBC.
Mm.
If it was a 17 share on Thursday night, your show was dead. So
yeah, and there's been a lot of shows that have been starting to come back into play. Like now, people have been throwing videos of Rock, which that show disappeared. You know, like you couldn't find that on you know, as far as the
with Charles
DVDs.
Dutton.
With Charles Dutton, which is such a great show.
Yeah.
You know, very well acted. And you know, you're surprised that they haven't done a 4K Blu-ray on this at least.
Well, it's you gotta justify the cost because you got to do the scans and all that other stuff. You've got to, you know, there's a little bit of an expense in doing an ultra high definition type for a Blu-ray, and you know that's why we haven't gotten an HD version of DS9 yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it costs too much to do the upscaling, because you basically have to re-render all of the effects.
It's the same thing with tripods. That's why we don't have tripods either.
Yep.
I've been dying for them to freaking finally put tripods all together. All you could see is bits and pieces online. If you ever saw that series.
I haven't.
Yeah, that British series was so good. You know.
Apparently, that whole Jeep, there was a Jeep rollover thing that they had done on 60 Minutes in 1980, and basically they killed a model of vehicle because of reporting it as the most dangerous vehicle on the road. Yet the National Institute or whatever that tests this was only out of 438 or 5 or something like that attempts, only got it to roll over 8 times.
Besides the Nova exploding on its gas tank.
That was Dateline.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was the Nova, but they that was Dateline, and they rigged it to blow.
That was
Mm.
a
Because
Ford.
there's a joke in the movie. Was it the movie Top Secret? Where the Germans just
Yeah.
barely touched the freaking bumper of the car, and it just and then it just detonates.
Go boom. Yeah,
So
Ford.
PB's got a question about the Long Halloween. It is a bad adaptation of the book. I mean, as its own. If you're not familiar with the book, then the animated show, the animated movie is fine, but it's not the book. The book is much better. The animated show changes the ending. It changes the identity of the perpetrator. I mean, it changes so much it ruins it for me. But the book is so much better than the animated show.
Yeah,
I would
and I
say
would suggest, because
get
it's
the
no
book.
longer on HBO, you have to pay to see it. Buy the physical media one, but the special edition one, which is basically, it's not the two parts. They edited it together as one movie.
Always buy the physical media.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm glad I got.
Oh, it was the Pinto. I'm sorry, it was the Ford
Yes,
Pinto.
it was the Pinto. I had one. I had one. It was white with blue racing stripes. Of course, it's a Pinto, right?
Did it look like Sydney Sweeney's Mustang?
No.
It wasn't that white with blue racing stripes?
No, this was white, and it had just like a little blue pinstripe on it, and then the interior was blue and white. So it was that fake leather that was blue
Oh yeah,
and white. And
hide.
I don't know. It was from the 70s. I don't know. I bought it off a senior when I was like, 16. Yeah.
I drove that. I never like remakes of classic classic science fiction horror movies. Like they're talking about remaking Forbidden Planet. You can never remake Forbidden Planet.
Why would you do that?
Exactly. There's been talk about it for about a year.
How many times have they redone War of the Worlds?
And badly done that it is. It's like,
War of the Worlds is kind of a weird one, because you had the radio show that caused the panic back in 1938.
So, by the way, it didn't actually.
Well,
that's fake news.
They
made it out to be like it did, but people were like, they knew what they were listening to for the most part.
Okay, if you listened from the beginning, you knew what you were listening to.
Yeah.
But during the broadcast, they never identified that it was a radio show.
Right.
Because I've listened to the recordings. There's nothing in there until you get to about the middle. There's one at the beginning, and there's definitely one at the end. It's like, well, this is our little Halloween. This is our little way of jumping out of the bush and yelling boo. But during the show, there's nothing to indicate that it's a real thing. There was a show in the 80s that did this. It was an NBC show, and I can't remember the name of it. I always forget the name of it. I've looked it up like 6 dozen times. But it was on a Sunday night, and it was a TV movie about terrorists who had a nuclear bomb on a tugboat or a small boat in New York Harbor. And if you didn't know that it was fake, and you got in on it after the beginning of it,
yeah,
there's no way to know.
But what it turns out is it was exaggerated by their rivals.
Yeah.
So their competing radio stations made a big deal out of it to try and
because they wanted to penalize them.
Right.
But between the radio show, and then you had the George Powell version, and then you have the Spielberg version. You've got the television show in the 90s.
Yeah, I was about to add that.
You have the I want to say there was a Time Machine. There have been several versions of the Time Machine as well.
Well,
and then you got this new version, the latest one with Ice Cube in it, which apparently is an appallingly
another one?
Terrible. Yeah, it's appallingly bad. According to everything that I've said, that I've read.
When you said new, you know what my mind went to, right?
Mm.
The Tom Cruise one. Wasn't it Tom Cruise?
Yeah, but that's not new.
That's new.
That
Didn't
one's
they make one?
actually
That's
Didn't they
fairly
make one
new.
right after the Tom Cruise one, like it made for sci-fi channel movie.
maybe.
I didn't really like the Tom Cruise. That was, well, I mean, it's only 20 years ago. That's not somebody
That's not
posted
new.
somebody posted something earlier, like today, that I found offensive, and and not because he posted it, but what it was, and it was a song by Blink 182 playing on an oldie station.
Ew.
And I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
that fairly new band, Blink 182. That
I
was my response, because they're kind of new, right?
Yeah.
They haven't been around that long.
I listen to classic rock sometimes.
I don't consider Blink 182. I consider that
No.
new music, not classic.
Well, it's contemporary at least.
Well,
But the
what's my age again?
when the classic rock station starts
That was a
playing
bad
Green
pun.
Day and
All the
Stone Temple Pilots, like
Yeah.
you go from the Rolling Stones and the Beatles to Stone Temple Pilots. You talk about a tone shift. Like, no, that does not belong on this channel.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I knew I was getting old when you go into when you hear Metallica turned into Muzak. And
Oh yeah.
I've heard that, you know.
And
And
PB, they have made Animal Farm, and it is animated. Andy Serkis has done it. It's I don't even know if it's out yet, but we got a clip, and it looks like they've turned it into a comedy, and you're going to completely miss the point of what Animal Farm is actually really supposed to all be about.
obfuscation.
You guys, well, if you're watching my channel, you guys should know this stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know me. God, I got
know,
CRS, dude.
Six-
I've forgotten more
months
stuff
later.
than
6 months later, what I miss? Wait, they're doing what?
just call me Rumple Deathskin.
And then they remade Watership Down. I was like,
Yeah,
I mean, why would you do that? I mean,
I know. I'm still waiting for the Dragon's Lair movie. Okay, so the video game Dragon's Lair
You mean the
with Don
DVD?
Bluth?
The DVD that I had?
No, not
Did
Dragon,
you know they came out with it on
not-
DVD?
not Dragon Slayer.
No, Dragon's
Dragon
Lair
Lair.
with Dirk.
Dirk. Yeah,
I had it on DVD.
the cutscenes.
It was a game
Oh no,
on DVD.
they wanted to do a live action one.
So no, this was not. So it was the actual game. This was early on, whenever I think it was DVD. It could have been Blu-ray, but anyway, it was DVD, and they were trying to
Blu-ray.
What they did is that it was all the cutscenes. You used the remote control for the player to pick what actions you wanted to take next.
I don't remember that. I don't
The
remember there being
the Laserdisc game, it was really good.
That's basically what it was. It was
Yeah.
the Laserdisc game put on a DVD and switched over to use those controls.
See, I don't remember that coming out. I remember it in the arcades, and I remember kids swarming around the console because the way they had it is they had the console, and then they had a big TV up top so everybody could watch the cutscenes and watch the show as it go. And it was Don Bluth that did the animation,
Right?
Secret of Nim, and they're supposed to be working on a live action adaptation. I think Ryan Reynolds was supposed to be part of it, but I haven't heard anything lately. We got that one's supposed to be out there somewhere. A new Buck Rogers is supposed to be in development with George Clooney's production company.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Because I talked to Flint Dilley, who was his grandfather had the Buck Rogers rights, and the John Dilley estate, and George Clooney is supposed to be working on a new Buck Rogers, but I haven't heard boo about that since pandemic. And then Taika Waititi at one point was supposed to be working on a Flash Gordon. That's dead. So I don't
Warner
know.
was supposed to do Akira, the animated. They just dropped that.
That one, there's a story there.
Yeah.
So this got announced, a live action Akira. When was it? I think this thing's been in development hell for like 10 years at least. And when we first heard about it, It was going to be a live action, but they were going to set it in New Manhattan instead of New Tokyo. And everybody that heard about this, why would you do that? You lose all of the context of the nuclear stuff if you take it out of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole point is same as Godzilla. You know, the whole point of all of this stuff that's coming out of Japan, all of this nuclear stuff, is that it's Hiroshima. And
God, Gojira.
Gojira. and it was going to be pretty much a whitewashed cache at that point. Gary Oldman was supposed to be a part of it. And then it just kind of whispers in the wind for the longest time until we finally got something, I think a year ago, that it was officially dead. And I'm hoping it stays officially dead.
Yeah, PB, they are.
Well, officially, Warner Brothers, and I reported it a couple of weeks ago, that Warner Brothers have dropped all the rights. It's reverted back to the original production house.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's dead. They could shop it around.
Has
and they
anybody
might,
ever?
but
How about? Has anybody ever done any Cthulhu stuff, or is he persona non grata just because?
oh, you talk about Lovecraft? No, I mean,
Yeah.
there was the Color Out of Space here a couple of years ago with Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
What was that movie? That other one, Beyond something, was like years ago. Was part of the storyline on that. And then there was
I don't know.
something else from the novels on there years ago from the 70s.
I mean, Guillermo del Toro has been wanting to make At in the Mountains of Madness for years, and I don't know that anybody's ever going to be able to do that one.
Well, he has Frankenstein coming out now.
I mean, I like Guillermo del Toro, but watching reading Pan's Labyrinth on
Yeah.
screen,
Well,
not watching it because you're reading the whole damn movie because it's all subtitled.
Del Toro has the sensibility to do
hurts me.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
He absolutely could do a Lovecraft movie. I don't know that the studios would let him do it the way he wants to do it, because At the Mountains of Madness would have been an R-rated movie, and the studios got skittish and they canceled.
And any Lovecraft stuff would be at minimum of R.
Well, maybe. I mean, I've done a short film and it didn't have an R. I adapted the Statement of Randolph Carter, and it's watchable.
I've got the complete works. I told you that, right? I bought the complete works of Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I have not read any of it yet because I'm trying to read another book that I just got. And they were both about the same price. I got one on Amazon, and the other one I got on.
Is it about as big as War and Peace? Because I have one that's like it's about as big as War and Peace.
So it's like 1,100 and something pages. Is that you talking about the Lovecraft book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the same one.
It's 1,200. It's nice though. I mean, it's the other book that I got though is from it's the first 3 books put together for
I said I can't find mine right now.
Yeah. I got it sitting over on the table over there too. I could go get it, but
oh, Jason, do you know anything? What's going on with the Tron 4K? It's dropped off everywhere.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it.
Because there were pre-orders for it. It's coming out soon.
Yeah,
it's Tron and the second movie.
I saw mention that they were doing 4K versions of Tron and Tron Legacy about a week ago,
It was
week and a half
slated.
ago, and then nothing.
Yeah, no, it was they put it out. I think Walmart still has the second one still up there. I have it on my list, and when I click on the list, sorry, there's nothing here. It's like, let me see.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. I am gonna, since we're talking about adaptations and such, I am gonna make a recommendation. I recommend this book every single time I have an opportunity to. Ooh, that's a nice edition. Is that a Barnes and Noble special?
That's the one I have.
No, and it was $18.
That's a good collection there. I think
18. Well, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's not
the complete fiction.
Yeah, that's not the one that I've got, but that looks like that's a good set. I'm going to recommend this book right here, John Carter and the Gods of Hollywood by Michael Sellers. This book right here details Hollywood's anguished efforts for decades, not just Disney with Andrew Stanton, but Hollywood has been trying to crack a John Carter adaptation for years. And then Disney finally did it. Andrew Stanton finally cracked it just as Disney was buying Marvel.
Yeah.
And every executive that was involved in greenlighting the Disney project ended up not at Disney anymore. So by the time the movie came out, you had nobody that cared about this thing, and it got orphaned, and it got marketed badly, and then it got abandoned because, hey, we bought Marvel, and hey, we bought Star Wars. And John Carter died before they could ever get anything back. Now, the estate, the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate, has since got the rights back. And there's an audio adaptation that's about to come out that I'm going to get a copy of because Mindy bought me a copy. And it's got a phenomenal cast in it. I think the kid who played Indiana Jones, the older one, crap, what's his name?
Phoenix? No,
No,
not River. Oh,
Sean
not
Patrick
River Phoenix.
Flannery. Sean Patrick Flannery plays John Carter.
Oh, okay.
I think Ian McDermott is in this. I can't remember.
Really?
He's playing
Ian McDermott?
he's playing the old man in the cave.
So this
The old wizard.
so this is a pretty new.
Oh, it's
coming
not
out?
done yet. It's not
Oh,
done.
okay.
It's not out yet. They're in post production now. It's a full cast audio production adaptation of A Princess of Mars. And I cannot wait to sit down and listen to it. And no, Boxleitner, as far as I know, is not in Tron Ares at all.
Well, as soon as the
As
Barsoom stuff,
Tron or Alan.
yeah, as soon as the Barsoom stuff, I hear something about that from Trollord, I will immediately try to book Steven for us on that one.
The other
'cause-
thing I'm looking at is the Shin Godzilla remaster on there. They just released
Oh,
it
yeah.
theatrically in color and black and white.
They just
And that-
re-released that, didn't they? Last
Yeah,
month?
and theatrically, it's
Mhm.
supposed to be coming, I think, October. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be released on October on 4K.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming out in 4K now. The Hitchcock collection is coming out. It's like
Yeah.
15 movies,
Nice.
$120.
$120.
$120, 15 movies. All
How much
remastered.
how much of Hitchcock stuff is public domain? Any of it yet?
I doubt very much.
No, Shadow of Doubt is on there, so it's definitely not public domain. It would have to be before. It would have to be before Shadow of Doubt.
Of course.
Yeah, because Superman is 1938 Action Comics #1, and he doesn't come into that particular version of the character doesn't hit public domain for 2 years, I think.
Let's see.
And I just
It's a
realized,
misconception, apparently.
I think, what is it, this weekend? Tulsa King is back.
I don't know. I have yet to start that one.
I haven't started it either.
Tulsa King.
I've heard it's good. You
Sam
know?
Jackson's joining the cast.
Well, Sam Jackson is about to split off for New Orleans.
Yeah, he's going to
They're
split
doing
off,
a spin-off.
but the delay, it's under delay. Something happened, so.
Boy, did you see that his other one? So Taylor Sheridan's got the other Yellowstone one called Madison
Yes.
with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I hear that one. Yeah.
They just added Kurt Russell to the cast to play her husband.
The other one I'm waiting for is Landman, which will be back in November.
Yeah.
Which is excellent.
See, now all they got to do is get Mel Gibson, and they have a Tequila Sunrise reunion over there. That was a good movie.
Well, they just got Sam Elliott in Landman.
Oh, did they really? Nice.
Yeah, he's playing Billy Bob's dad in the series.
Cool.
On there, and then what's her name's getting more time in the series. I can't even think of her name right now at the moment. But yeah, she's getting a lot more time because the guy from Mad Men, Pat, he died in the series, so it's in the first season. So, and Andy Garcia just got added to the series as well.
Yeah.
But Landman, wow, that's a shocker of a series, and about the oil industry.
Yeah, I mean Taylor Sheridan is pretty much his own thing right now. Paramount's just kind of letting him do whatever he wants to do, and I don't think that he's a progressive Marxist liberal.
Well, he's opening a studio in Arizona.
Yeah.
He's got a big studio opening up there. That's under construction right now, and they're throwing money at him left and right because they make.
There's that one. Zachary Levi is putting together a campus outside of Austin now to do productions there. So
yeah, we got Lionsgate and Netflix opening up here across the river in Jersey.
Yeah, was it old Air Force Base there?
Yeah, Netflix got the airface. Lionsgate, I forgot what they're going into. In fact, Lionsgate's getting 2 studios, one in New York and one in Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be some big stuff coming out of here. Supposedly, there's 12 major productions going to be once that studio's starting out. They got 12 major productions that are going to be starting to work out of that studio.
Oh wow! New York Yankees had a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk.
Good.
Good.
I don't even like the Yankees, and that I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I'm waiting for them to send the National Guard in to
That's what was the other one I just got. I got Ghost of Mars.
Well, how did what I say trigger?
No, I'm going through as I'm talking to you. I'm flipping through the X, and that came up on my feed. I don't know for some reason. I don't know why that came up on my feed.
I don't know.
Outside, I'm like,
Facebook
oh yeah, that's it
coming up, but that's. Still trying to find people to game with, getting enough together.
Yeah.
But.
All right, gents. Well, I gotta bail. I
have to go watch an episode of Babylon 5.
Yeah, you do.
The next,
yeah.
Well, I need to start it within the next 20 minutes or so because
I was about to say, yeah.
I cut it close, but I always, and I have not. This is my first watch, so it's not like because a lot of times I'll watch an episode or two and then I'll go back and watch it and take notes. This one's going to be a watch and take notes period, and never first watched it. So
Jason, do you have anything to plug while we have you here?
At the moment, I don't. I will be off tomorrow because I got to work. We'll probably do a stream on Friday, and then on Saturday, assuming that everything comes together the way it's supposed to, we will be doing a members only Ask Me Anything with my mom.
Ask mom anything.
Ask
mom anything.
My mom is going to join the show. And people in the chat now, it's a members only stream, so you got to be a member. It's $1.99. You got to be a member, and you'll be able to ask my mom anything that you want to ask her. Now, there's probably going to be some stuff that's off limits, politics being among them. But yeah, it should prove to be an interesting show. And then I think we're going to try to get Paul DeGarabedian on next week sometime to talk about the summer box office because it did not land where he thought it would land. And so I gotta take him to task, give him a hard time.
Maybe he wants my channel. Which one?
Right.
I've got Ham Radio Rejects because I'm a ham radio operator, so I've got that, and I've got my other one, which is I just rebranded it because it is for gaming, for tabletop gaming and stuff like that. I haven't done anything on that yet. I've got stuff sitting behind me for my. You can't even see it. I got mystery boxes to open from the Hamfest and Gigaparts out in Huntsville.
But meanwhile, here on the CutiCast channel, Man with the Show, if you didn't catch it this week on Tuesday, we had the Summer of 25 look back stories that we covered. It's still available on there. If you want to catch that. Tomorrow, Otaku Thursday look back at the Summer of 2025. Of course, of all the censorship and all that's going on in the anime industry. We got a lot of stories coming up. We've got more age verification stories. Harry Sisson from the porn industry, he's creating another horror film that's going to end up probably on Tubi, which is on there. It's the sequel to Scissors. And basically, he's gotten a bunch more people to come on there. He's got, one of the cast members from A Christmas Story, Schwartz. He's going going to be in it again. He was in the original on there, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name, Steven something, that was in 21 Jump Street. He's going to appear in the movie, so we got that coming next week.
The series or the
It's a movie. Right now, you can watch the original, the first movie. It's a horror film, just with a bunch of porn stars and a crazy clown. You can see it
Gotta
on
love you.
Tubi, and Amazon Prime has it right now
Wow.
on there.
Bunch of porn
So
stars.
do catch that. We got a lot of
Wow.
stories from New York. Prohibition being pushed in New York City.
What?
Yep. It's
What?
yeah, they're trying to reduce the amount of liquor licenses in New York right now
Oh Lord.
under Mayor Adams. We got that next week. So, gentlemen, thank you for coming on. Thank you all those. Thank you, Sci-Fi Snob. Thank you everybody that showed up. Cam. We will see you on the next one when we do the next.
You'll be in the chat too, right?
Yeah, everybody in the chat too.
but you'll be in the chat.
PB and everybody else that showed up.
Yeah,
in the
come
chat.
over and join us. I put the links in the
come
the
on
chat.
over to Sci-Fi Snob's channel tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. Is he doing Rumble yet on that?
He's on Rumble, but I don't think he's streaming to Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for those of you on Rumble that are still there, thank you also for coming on there. And we'll see you on the next Man Cafe. Well,
thanks, man, for